This is the Buzz Adams Morning Show podcast. Barstool Talk Daily. Except it's really early in the morning and no booze. For the most part.
Buzz Adams Morning Show, Monday through Friday, 5 to 10. KLAQ and KLAQ HD1, El Paso, a Town Square media station.
It's time.
I'm off.
The Q Morning Show is back.
KLAQ is a bitch. Not playing around.
This is the morning show on 95.5 KLAQ.
All right. Thank you. Good morning and welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. It is the day before Thanksgiving. It is Wednesday, November 27th.
Blackout Wednesday.
Blackout Wednesday or Drinksgiving, as it's also known.
Who started?
Pardon me?
Who started yet?
I haven't started yet. Good morning, everybody. Nico is here at the beginning of the show.
Always.
Good for you. And we have some guests coming up on the show. They're going to be coming by from the Small Business Administration, talking about small business. What do they call it? Is there a name for it? Small Business Saturday?
Saturday.
Administration.
Small Business Saturday. And Stephanie Valle from Channel 7. There's a new Borderland Crimes podcast. And Stephanie Valle is going to be in a little bit later to talk about that.
And Sparky's here.
And my dog Spark is here.
Guest with us. He's so cute.
Oh, he has his own bandana. And
I have a little crush on our new guest.
Yeah, that is Spark, the German Shepherd. All right. Nico, since you already take smoke breaks, I'm going to need you to take him outside.
I haven't taken any smoke breaks this week.
No.
No.
All right.
Have you seen me take one?
Well, if you do take one today, take the dog with you.
Yeah. If you do take a smoke break, take Spark.
You brought him. He's yours.
Yeah, but I'm doing a show.
Are you?
Yeah, I am.
Are we?
Good
Really, are we?
Oh, we are.
Okay.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Weather looks really nice for the weekend. So if you're planning on getting out and doing anything outside, whether it's the minor game up in Las Cruces on Saturday, this is the golfer's forecast, but it applies for anything you're doing. A lot of cloud cover today, but no rain. Don't let the clouds fool you. There is no rain in the forecast. 76 is going to be the high temperature with that cloud cover. Tomorrow, Thanksgiving Day. It's going to get down in the 40s overnight, and I'm saying this for parade goers for the Sun Carnival Parade tomorrow.
Sun Bowl.
Sun Bowl parade, buddy.
All right, the Sun Bowl Parade.
Just because something was old and that you were used to it does not mean you still say it now.
I'm still not convinced that I'm not right.
I think you're not right.
I think Joanna Googled it yesterday.
So it's going to be a little chilly when you get out early tomorrow in the 40s. 66, though, for the afternoon high. And for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, looking at highs mostly in the 60s, close to 70 on Sunday. And again, no rain through the weekend. This is the Golfer's Forecast. It's brought to you by Painted Dunes Desert Golf Course. You can set up all your tee times and reservations online at painteddunes.com. That's painteddunes.com, or call the Pro Shop 915-821-2122 for Painted Dunes Desert Golf Course. Good morning, Joanna.
Good morning.
Joanna is back in the Joanna studio today.
I am.
I kind of expected Alberto to be here today.
I think they have him stacked today.
Right, he's
Yeah.
working a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's around the holidays, and he's a part-timer. We've all been there, right? What's coming up on the Hollywood Cheese Man about an hour?
There's a weird phenomenon happening during Wicked screenings that a lot of film execs have taken notice of, and that's younger audiences busting out their phone and just recording parts or recording their reactions.
Recording their reactions to Wicked?
To the
Wicked,
movie.
to the movie.
Okay, just explain to me what the purpose is. To
I
put
don't
it on
know,
their
to put
social
it on
media?
Social media?
Okay, you're a millennial.
Yes.
Do you get this?
No.
No, you can't really relate to it.
I can't
can you?
relate to
Well,
this.
I think we get it.
I get
we
it, but-
understand, but we don't do it. We're not going to do it.
I get it, I guess, but
Did
why?
people forget you're supposed to keep your phones silent, dark, and out of the way,
Right.
as they say at Alamo Draft House?
Social media is all about showing off your experience of life.
Right. And so film
Are you
execs are saying they're kind of just like not even paying any attention. They're like, yep, it happens. This is how the younger audiences see movies now.
They're okay with it? They're
And
not
they
going to have
kinda
like
seem
some
okay
kind
with
of
it.
like movie re-education camp where it's like, hey, you forgot how to act at a movie.
You want re-education
Yes,
camps?
that's I do for this. Billy Corgan of the Smashing Pumpkins made an interesting revelation on the Howie Mandel podcast. He said that he seriously thought that he and Bill Burr might be half brothers because apparently Billy Corgan's dad really got around.
Oh, my.
They're both from Boston? Or what?
No.
Chicago.
Famously, Billy Corgan is from Chicago. But
Is
his-
Bill Burr?
Bill Burr is from Boston. You know where Bill Burr is
That's
from.
what
But
I...
if-
Okay.
But if he's saying that his dad had like all
His
these
dad
kids.
traveled. He was a traveling musician.
That would help.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. All right. Well, you're going to hear it. You're going to hear it from Billy Corgan coming up a little bit later.
Who is his dad?
I don't think he was famous, but he was a musician who would travel around the country. I don't know. Look it up if you want to know who his dad was, but I don't think he was famous. Wicked and Gladiator dominated the weekend box office. Based on this, I think next year they're going to have a movie where gladiators fight witches. They're just going to say, "This, we can make a mint here, people."
I've seen that. It's called Hocus Pocus.
Hell yeah.
Anybody doing a Friendsgiving this year
No.
where you get together with friends and have some kind of meal together?
In this room?
No, with anybody.
This room's stupid.
Don't forget tonight is Blackout Wednesday, also known as Drinksgiving. So
Hell yeah.
there are going to be a lot of people meeting up at bars. So drive safe. Not everybody.
Plan
Everybody
for a
should
safe
have a
ride, a designated
Sure.
driver,
Have a
Uber.
designated
I
driver.
think Uber usually gives out like codes so you can get like free rides.
Watch out for Joanna.
Joanna plans to be drunk starting tonight till Sunday.
Yeah, but Joanna doesn't drive, so.
Joanna already gets a safe ride.
What else is going on? Well, we're going to have the great Nostradamus
Oh, nice.
paying a visit later today. So make sure you've got those envelopes out of their hiding place and
Yeah.
ready to go.
All right, I'll get them ready.
When the great Nostradamus shows up. In news, there is a ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah has been in effect about 12 hours now. Now, this is not Israel and Hamas, but they're hoping that this ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah, specifically in Lebanon, might lead to Hamas negotiating and ending the war in Gaza. So,
I mean, I think it's easy now for Israel to be like, well, I mean, we killed everybody. So
we'll hear some from President Biden talking about the historic brokered ceasefire, which the United States had a big hand in brokering that. My dog is here, so hopefully
he's next to me.
Oh yeah, He knows Nico very well. He doesn't know Joanna very well.
Was he kind of skittish of her?
No, he seemed friendly. He's a friendly dog. He likes everybody.
Dog. Until he gets to a skunk.
Oh, he does not like when other animals enter his yard, be it skunk, raccoon. There's a squirrel that he's just obsessed with. And I think the squirrel is obsessed with him, too, because
the squirrel likes it.
They got a whole thing going on, like a Tom and Jerry thing going on. The squirrel runs across the fence, and Sparky runs back and forth chasing the squirrel all over the backyard. Coming up, we've got Today in Sound Clips. That's on the way in just a minute.
The Daily Calendar.
Today, November 27th.
Hi, everybody. The night before Thanksgiving is Drinksgiving. As adults are returning to their hometowns, they meet up with friends and pack local bars.
We came here to drink some beer.
It's Craft Jerky Day. Time to start making your own buffalo wing jerky or apple spiced turkey jerky, whatever you want. Or it's Jukebox Day, Adopt a Turtle Day, and National Deal Week with Black Friday and Cyber Monday, and sales will be everywhere.
And that's your daily calendar.
Happy Thanksgiving from the Buzz Adams Morning Show.
It's always more. Sunland Park Racetrack and Casino.
Keep it fun. Play responsibly. Need help? Call 1-800-572-1142.
Broadcasting from El Paso for El Paso. The Buzz Adams Morning Show on 95.5 KLAQ.
All right, we got Today in Sound Clips. That's coming up here in just a second.
Woo!
Yeah.
Dallas Cowboys.
Again.
Tomorrow they play the New York Chiquitos. Woo! They're enjoying that turkey while we watch them play the little Chiquitos. All right. Woo! Come on, Buzz. Give me a woo.
All right.
Woo! Joanna, give me a woo.
Woo!
Nico,
I'm down.
come on.
All right.
One day before Thanksgiving.
All right,
come
let's
on.
do it. Woo!
Come on, get paid. Woo! All right, yeah! And Miners, come on, Miners, give us that third win. Give us that third win. Come on, you Mineros. Vámonos, let's go. You can do it. You can do it all the way. Woo! Yeah!
Cowboy guy, very excited about the Thanksgiving game against the Giants tomorrow. And the minor game, the I-10 rivalry at NMSU and Las Cruces on Saturday. All right, well, we've got a lot of news to get to, a lot of sound clips that we're going to get to. So, oh, man. Joanna, can you do the intro for sound clips? I don't have it ready to go.
Today in
Sound clips.
That's it. That's exactly what I was looking for.
How's your box doing?
My what?
Your button box.
You really need
Yeah,
to
I
get
just
that
forgot.
box
I forgot to.
checked.
Yeah,
I forgot
you should
to-
clean that box out.
Yeah.
Have Mike check your box.
Yeah.
Israel and the terrorist organization Hezbollah have agreed to a U.S. brokered ceasefire. At a press conference yesterday, President Joe Biden announced the ceasefire deal that pauses hostilities on the Israel-Lebanon border. He pointed out that no one but Hezbollah wanted the war in the first place.
Let's be clear. Israel did not launch this war. The Lebanese people did not seek that war either, nor did the United States.
President Biden said at the press conference yesterday that the ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah is meant to be permanent.
This is designed to be a permanent cessation of hostilities. What is left of Hezbollah and other terrorist organizations will not be allowed, well, I emphasize, will not be allowed to threaten the security of Israel again.
Latest updates this morning, the ceasefire has been in effect for about 12 hours, and some people are returning to their homes in Lebanon along the Israel-Lebanon border, which they had been driven out of because of the fighting. Here's President Joe Biden outlining what will happen over the next 60 days in southern Lebanon.
Over the next 60 days, the Lebanese army and state security forces will deploy and take control of their own territory once again. Hezbollah terrorist infrastructure in southern Lebanon will not be allowed to be rebuilt. And over the next 60 days, Israel will gradually withdraw its remaining forces.
President Biden pointed out that no U.S. troops will be deployed as part of the ceasefire.
There will be no U.S. troops deployed in southern Lebanon. This is consistent with my commitment to the American people to not put U.S. troops in combat in this conflict. Instead, we, along with France and others, will provide the necessary assistance to make sure this deal is implemented fully and effectively.
And on the heels of this ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah, President Biden said Hamas is running out of options.
And so now Hamas has a choice to make. Their only way out is to release the hostages, including American citizens, which they hold. In the process, bring an end to the fighting, which would make possible a surge of humanitarian relief.
After a hearing yesterday where the judge chastised Rudy Giuliani for the former mayor, New York City mayor's outburst over not having any money, Giuliani spoke to the press. So Giuliani, again, this is federal court, so no cameras or recording devices inside. But I guess he kind of had a meltdown. He yelled at the judge that he couldn't pay. But he owes the two. Bills. These are the two poll workers in Georgia that he defamed.
Yeah,
and he owes them over $100 million.
Well, it was through this story that I learned Rudolph Giuliani owned like several World Series rings.
Well, I think they were gifted to him because he was the mayor of New York when the Yankees were on a tear.
Sure, but you can give those. You can sell those. You know, he has other cars. I think he has.
He told the judge in his outburst, "I don't have a car."
But what happened was he gave a car owned by Sophia Loren, I guess, to the creditors. But then he hasn't given them the title, and the judge yesterday yelled it back at him. A car without a title is worthless.
Well, here is Giuliani talking to the press after his hearing yesterday.
Turned out exactly as I expected. He ruled against us on everything. The reality is, I have no cash. It's all tied up. So right now, if I wanted to call a taxi cab, I can't do it.
Sell some stuff.
I don't know how he's going to come up with, I think it's $114 million that he's supposed to pay.
Yeah, but like, it sounds like he has a lot of luxurious things. He had a 20-watt, like luxury watch collection, and these watches go for hundreds of thousands of dollars each watch. So
I've never understood that. How a watch could be.
You're a simple man.
I mean, I got an Apple Watch. It cost under $1,000, so.
You're a simple man. But compared to Giuliani, sure, just sell your stuff, dude.
Mom in Florida recently went to a theme park. They're not saying which theme park in this story, but she went with her 6-week-old son. That's an interesting choice, taking a 6-week-old to maybe she was there with the rest of the family. And she says that a random person saved her son's life by noticing that he looked yellow in color. Here is Sarah Love explaining what the stranger said to her.
Passing through, I noticed there was a guy to my right. And before I walked out of the store, he intercepted us. He mentioned he was a first responder. He said he noticed Lincoln and how very jaundiced he was. Just thought it might be a good idea for Lincoln to get some medical attention. It was a tough thing to go through, but because of that one small thing that he did, look at how much of an impact he had on Lincoln, on our family.
So the baby did have a condition and left untreated. It could have been fatal, but there's medication for it. So 6-week-old Lincoln is doing well and is under, a doctor's care.
I will just mention this, that jaundice in newborns is very common. It's a sign that bilirubin is elevated, and you should go to your doctor.
Who is bilirubin?
It's a protein.
Oh.
Yeah, bilirubin's a protein. Just putting your babies in the sun can help.
Get some vitamin D from the sun?
Yeah.
Is that what it's about?
It breaks down the bilirubin, yeah.
That is a great name, bilirubin. And what is it?
It's a protein.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all he heard.
Billy Rubin. Hi, my name's Billy Rubin. This is my girlfriend, Penicillin. That'd be funny. Go to a medical conference and get a name tag about all the name tags of different diseases and see how long it takes doctors.
That'd be a great doctor bit.
Dozens of beached whales were rescued on Sunday. A bunch of people in New Zealand banded together to save dozens of beached pilot whales.
When did you go to New Zealand?
Shut up. They used sheets to lift the whales up and get them back in the water. Here are two of the rescuers talking about the group effort.
Really awesome response from the community. Thousands of people have come down to help, and it was great to see that unity, for the same purpose.
So there was a lot of people in the water, and they're trained to be in the water. They're trained to be around these amazing animals, basically making a lot of noise and really encouraging them back out by lashing and refloating as well.
Well, they didn't save all the whales. 4 of them didn't make it, but more than 30 whales were saved by the group effort.
That's awesome. That's how we move people around to the hospital. It's super easy with a draw sheet.
Yeah, a sheet. If you get a sheet under somebody, you can stand them up. You can move them around. It's like, I don't know. What would you compare it to?
We call it a draw sheet.
A crane. Just moving.
Is that a fairly new method, or have they been using it for hundreds of years?
Hundreds of years.
Oh, yeah.
But there's ways to fold the sheets. And then when you log roll somebody, which means you move them on their side like a log, there's ways to put the sheet under.
Also, so that they don't get bed sores or anything.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, you have to learn that. That's all you do when you change people out in the nursing home.
Nursing home.
Along about Friday, could you come over and do that for me? I'll be on the couch in a coma, and if you could come over and just flip me over, and I won't get a bed sores.
Put a draw sheet under him.
Joanna, you laugh. I've done that for him.
No, you haven't.
Several times
that's
already.
Not true.
He's basically...
If Sparky could talk, I bet he'd be like,
he's basically an invalid.
Yeah, it's true.
Rico's a liar. Do you want to hear the story about Billy Corgan and Bill Burr maybe being brothers?
Yeah, I'm curious about this.
Billy Corgan from the Smashing Pumpkins shared his story with Howie Mandel on his podcast that he seriously suspected that he might be half brothers with comedian Bill Burr.
About 10 years ago, my stepmother said to me, "Do you know who Bill Burr is?" Now, at that point, I'd never heard of Bill Burr. I didn't know who he was. I didn't know he was a comedian or he could have been the guy down the street. I think I even somehow called up a picture on a phone, and I kind of noticed right away, gee, he really looks like my father. I said to my mother, well, why are you asking me this? She goes, I think Bill Burr might be one of the children that your father sired in his days on being a traveling musician. This is a true story. I'm not making up. There's no joke in this. This is a true story.
I like when people use the term sire. I sired a child.
Let's see. The outcome... let me see if I can find it here. The rest of the story, as Paul Harvey used to say.
The rest of the story.
Well, Billy Corgan says he thought it was possible at first because he's similar in age to Bill Burr, and they're both bald. And when Billy Corgan was 18, he says his dad told him he had a half-brother named Bill. How do you like that? The guy's got 2 kids, and he names both of them Bill. Right, Billy Corgan and Bill Burr.
So that he doesn't mix up his kids' names.
Right. Billy Corgan's stepmom said that she thinks his father had a total of 12 illegitimate kids.
Damn.
In the end, though, Billy Corgan says he doesn't buy it. He says, I've sat on the story for 10 years, and I don't think Bill Burr and I are related. I think it's just one of those things. All right. Elton John revealed this week that he isn't able to make any new music because he can't see. Which sounds like a real handicap, but I want to remind you that Beethoven couldn't hear. He was a composer. Right? So here,
still made me
Elton
sick.
John says he hopes it's not permanent, though.
I unfortunately lost my eyesight in my right eye because I had an infection in the south of France. And it's been 4 months now since I haven't been able to see. And my left eye is not the greatest. So there's hope and encouragement that it will be okay. But going into the studio and recording, I don't know. Because I can't see a lyric for a start. I can't see anything. I can't read anything. I can't watch anything.
In the south of France.
In the south of Rome.
Is that where he peed in a bottle?
Why did he have a story about peeing in a bottle?
Yeah, you don't remember? He was like at some shoe store or something, and they wouldn't let him use the restroom, so he
just grabbed a bottle.
And his security guard had to help him like hold the bottle.
Oh boy,
There
that's
was
earning
some
your pay.
There was some splashback.
A box truck in North Carolina crashed into an RV. The RV was loaded with more than 24 snakes, including venomous snakes.
on an RV.
I have had it with these monkey fighting snakes on this monkey fighting RV. The owner of the RV does reptile shows at conventions and expos and things, so he had to round up all the snakes himself. Here's the tow truck driver, Clayton Barfield, and the owner of the RV talking about the accident. All I can picture is when there was a fire at a pet store in Pee-wee's Big Adventure, and Pee-wee runs out, and he keeps ignoring the snakes, and then he runs out with all the snakes.
I would say it's in the top 10 of different.
I had some venomous snakes get loose in the camper, so I had to come back in there trying to get them snakes before the EMS personnel come in, you know.
I do not like snakes. I do not like snakes at all.
Have you heard about the autographed guitars that Donald Trump is selling?
Kind of. I saw a headline.
Trump guitars are something you can buy, you know?
Of course they are. Everything's for sale. Your
claim
Bibles.
that the guitars were signed by Trump with a 6-string bearing Trump's signature running more than $10,000, while a non-signed guitar cost $1,200. The website that has them up mentions the guitars are, quote, custom designed and developed by a veteran-owned company with assistance from a master luthier.
That's a funny job title.
Luthier. No, that's I know some really good luthiers in El Paso, like really talented luthiers.
You know,
so funny.
If your name was Luther and you were a luthier?
Luther the luthier? On Wednesday, Trump advertised the guitars on his Truth Social account, writing, "Coming soon, the limited edition 45 guitar." Now, a cease and desist has been sent by the guitar brand Gibson. The 130-year-old guitar maker confirmed it had issued a warning to Trump Guitars owners, citing concerns that the design of their guitar infringes upon Gibson's exclusive trademarks, particularly the iconic Les Paul body shape. Okay, so do you follow that? These are not Gibson guitars. But Gibson is saying they
look like them.
Yeah. So they have sent a cease and desist over that. You know, I have a lot of guitars, and I have spent, like, for a really good guitar, I've spent $1,200.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So if anybody wants to get me a Trump guitar for Christmas, the season is upon us.
Hi, folks. It's your favorite President, Donald Trump. And you've heard of my Trump guitars. Big, beautiful guitars with my name on them. Well, that's not all. Come on down to the Black Friday sale at the Trump Musical Instrument Warehouse, where I've got all sorts of Trump instruments priced to move. Want some Trump maracas? I've got them for just $11,000 per maraca. Maybe a Trump harpsichord interests you. Well, come get it for just $24,000. You never know what kind of deal you'll get at the Black Friday sale at the Trump Musical Instrument Warehouse.
I got this saxophone that's signed by Donald Trump at the Trump Musical Instrument Warehouse. It was $40,000, but I got it for $39,000. I had to sell some of my stuff to be able to afford it, but check out how this thing sounds.
Sounds great. It really does. The Black Friday sale at the Trump Musical Instrument Warehouse. Going on now. Tremendous.
Quick pause, and the great Nostradamus is coming up next on the Buzz Adams Morning Show.
Gobble, gobble. Happy Thanksgiving. Making sure your Thanksgiving
95.5 KLAQ, Nobody from Avenged Sevenfold. And Visit from the Great Nostradamus is coming up in just a few minutes.
Nice.
So I hope you're ready with the envelopes.
Yep, I got them all prepared.
Okay, great. Because he'll be here before you know it.
All right.
Great Nostradamus on the way. I just saw a note. If you have any station business, like a prize to pick up or anything, you want to get it today, the office is going to close at 1.
Yeah.
I bet you this place is a ghost town.
Today? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like on the
Nobody's coming
sales side of the building.
How was the potluck yesterday?
It was nice.
I got to tell you,
Yes.
everybody brought like pasta dishes.
There was a lot of pasta.
There was a lot
yeah.
of pasta.
There's still some in the fridge. I just saw.
Oh, nice.
So
I
breakfast,
cruised
guys.
by to take a look at what was going on, and I got to tell you, nothing tempted my palate there.
Alberto came through though with some tamales from Lupita's, so that was great.
Oh, are those nice ones?
Those are good, yeah.
So you know the artist Khalid, who's from El Paso, right?
Yes.
And
Love
he
him.
puts El Paso in his videos and stuff. And
Yeah.
very proudly from El Paso. Well, Khalid is out of the closet because he was outed. Have you heard about this?
I have heard.
Wait,
yeah,
who
like he,
outed him?
An ex-boyfriend.
Oof.
No.
Khalid posted a video on X to handle some rumors, mostly in the wake of being outed by an ex-boyfriend online. Khalid said that he hasn't seen the guy in 4 years. He says that he smokes weed but has never done cocaine. Khalid, that is. He denies abusing anyone, but adds it's the other way around. So I don't know all the details of what that's referencing, but I mean, we support Khalid, right?
Yeah.
He does.
We
He
love
supports
Khalid.
El Paso.
Yeah, absolutely.
So.
No, screw that boyfriend.
Movies.
Wait, hold on. I'm just kind of curious about the cocaine and the weed
I
reference.
guess there were allegations of such.
Okay.
From the ex-boyfriend. Khalid says, I don't even do that cocaine, but I do smoke some weed. And the abuse, I don't know about. You want to hear what's on TV over the next few days?
TV
tonight.
TV tonight. TV over the next few days.
A romantic comedy starring Lindsay Lohan starts today on Netflix. It's called Our Little Secret.
Yes, our queen is back.
Finally. Lindsay.
Tonight on NBC at 7, the 1-hour special Countdown to Macy's Thanksgiving Day. Wendy McClendon-Covey goes live from the Macy's Parade. And they're going to introduce a bunch of new floats this year. They might have a bluey.
I was just watching a new episode. I don't even know if it was an episode, but it was a clip of Reno 911. And it must be new, like a new clip where Wendy McClendon-Covey, she's in her uniform. They're all in the break room.
Yeah.
And their assignment is to, they said they got an arrest warrant for Q. From QAnon. And they're like,
there was no QAnon back when Reno 911.
well, that's what I'm saying. This was new.
I think it did come back like a reboot.
This was new. They were all kind of like older. You could tell they're grayer and a little bigger. But then they were like, we have
Dangle
to arrest.
still fit in those shorts.
Dangle is still in the shorts. And he's like, we got to arrest Q. And everybody's like, but we don't know who Q is. How are we supposed to arrest Q? That's the point.
That's hilarious.
It's hilarious.
Tomorrow morning, starting early, 6:30 El Paso time, the 98th Macy's Day Thanksgiving Day Parade.
And the El Paso Sun Bowl Parade.
Sun Bowl Parade.
going on. Football for Thanksgiving. First game up starts at 10:30. So we're getting an early start El Paso time for the Detroit Lions against the Chicago Bears. The Lions are really hot this season, and the Bears are not. Then that game is followed in the afternoon at 2:30. Dallas Cowboys hosting the New York Giants. The Cowboys still looking for their first home win of the season. Then the late game starting at 6:15 p.m. tomorrow, the Green Bay Packers host the Miami Dolphins. So lots and lots of football, including on Friday, if you got Amazon, Kansas City Chiefs and Las Vegas Raiders. Coming out Friday on Hulu, Nutcrackers starring Ben Stiller and Linda Cardellini. Ben Stiller's an uptight workaholic who moved. Okay.
what was that?
I don't know. I just don't know if I want to go into it. It's a Ben Stiller rom-com, I guess. It must be holiday because it's called Nutcrackers.
You're so ready for the holiday, aren't you? And then there's a Ben Stiller movie that's like about blah, 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 blah. And Linda Cardellini, who was the mother in How I Met Your Mother?
Linda? No.
Who was the mother?
Kristen.
The girl who comes out in Penguin.
The girl who comes out in Penguin.
Yo, morning show. Good morning. I have a car question for anybody out there that might have a answer. So I have a 2022 Nissan Altima, and I just bought a battery for it, and it keeps dying. Does anybody know why that could happen? All right, love you guys. Bye.
I want you to know, we are not Click and Clack, the car brothers. I don't know much about cars, but it sounds like maybe you got a bad battery. And if you just bought it, maybe you take it back and say, hey, the battery doesn't have a good charge.
You deign to even speculate, sir?
I'm just trying to do anything I can to help, as feeble as my qualifications are.
None of us are.
I mean, if it's a brand new battery, it ought to stay charged, right? Take it back to them.
A warranty.
People buy used batteries. I wonder if you bought a used battery.
Mm.
I wouldn't buy a used battery just because you don't know how
used it is.
Right. How much juice has it still got in it? I'm sorry, man. I wish I could help, but I am not the... it's too bad Scooter isn't here from Tex-Mex Motors.
We couldn't even explain to you how batteries work.
Stephanie Valle is coming up later this morning. There's a new Borderland Crimes podcast, her award-winning podcast, covering yet another crime in El Paso. Joanna, do we have time to get Nostradamus in here?
Yeah, if you get him in now.
Okay. Nico, I'm going to get the door. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Are you ready
Got
to
him.
intro?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
The wise sage from the east, Nostradamus.
All right.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Good morning, Nostra.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving
Happy
to
Thanksgiving.
everybody. Happy Thanksgiving Eve.
Yes.
Absolutely. So, Nostra, do you have any wise words for us?
Today, words of wisdom. Yes, I can share words of wisdom with you. I have to find my notes.
But you are so full of wisdom from your years of meditation and spiritual guidance.
But I cannot find the notes.
Yeah.
Let me try and help Nostradamus
Yeah,
here for
help
a
him
second.
out,
Yeah,
Buzz.
why don't you help him?
His notes have got to be hidden somewhere here. You think my computer's got a lot of stuff going on?
I'm just looking at you go through all the tabs.
Do you see what we have to deal with, Nostra?
Right, Nostra?
I don't know how you put up with it.
You're telling us.
I'll tell you what, Nostradamus, if you agree, how about we take a break?
Yeah, would you like to stick around for just a little bit, Nostra? And then we'll be right back.
The clock is ticking.
Visit your favorite information, valid at participating locations.
The Buzz Adams Morning Show, Monday through Friday, 5 to 10. KLAQ and KLAQ HD1, El Paso, a town square media station.
Today is Wednesday.
Thanksgiving's tomorrow.
Tomorrow's Thanksgiving.
Tomorrow's Thanksgiving. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving.
Tomorrow's Thanksgiving. You brought a turkey?
Oh, did he remember the thought?
Oh, that turkey now.
Thanksgiving food.
We need Thanksgiving side dishes, right?
Turkey, the stuffing.
The cranberries. Stuffing, am I right?
Delicious giblet gravy. Happy Thanksgiving.
It's showtime.
Well, Nostradamus just stepped outside, but he's coming right back.
He is. He's coming right back.
I think we've got his notes ready and everything. Sorry about that, everybody. The caller who had a problem, he bought a new battery, and the battery keeps draining or dying. People are saying the same thing, and I told you I'm not a car guy. But
People are saying alternator.
How's it going, guys? About that guy, that battery.
What? I can't hear anything.
even if you buy a fully charged brand.
Oh, what the hell?
What are you doing?
I don't know. I honestly don't know what I'm doing today. It's already Thanksgiving as far as I'm concerned.
How's it going, guys? Talking about that guy, that battery keeps dying. His alternator's probably bad because even if you buy a fully charged brand new battery, if you run it and your alternator's doesn't keep it charged, it's eventually going to die as well. So it's probably the alternator or something between the alternator and the battery that's not charging. So I would go check the alternator first thing.
All right. Thank you, Padilla.
Yeah, thanks, Padilla. In the app chat.
Hey, this is about the caller just calling about his car and new battery. It sounds like it might be the alternator as well. Just bought a new battery and it keeps draining your battery. That means your alternator probably gave out and it's not charging the battery. Have a good one. You guys have a good holiday, bros.
Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you for the help.
No, yeah, that's what everybody in the app chat is saying. Alternator. So.
I want to make the point that we don't always know the answer to every question, but
we can crowdsource it.
And when there are so many people calling and saying the same thing,
it's a good indication.
That's a good indication.
Yeah. All right. Do you want to welcome Nosterbeck?
Need a few seconds. I hate to keep pausing, but that's just the way it is.
He's a busy man, all right?
Yeah.
Dark meat or white meat? For turkey.
Oh, yeah, okay. Thank you.
What's your preference?
I like the white meat and gravy. Dark meat's a little too. It can be a little greasy for me.
Okay, Joanna.
I like the white meat.
See,
with cranberry sauce. Why?
We would pair up well. I can't eat the white meat. It is just dry, and I can't choke it down. I got to have something off the drumstick.
Yeah,
you got to have something to moisten it.
Yeah,
there's no flavor. You're saying in the white meat.
The dark meat is so much,
right?
In many ways, is so much more.
The
flavorful.
White meat doesn't have a lot of taste. It can't dance really well.
Shut up.
It doesn't dance well on your tongue.
It doesn't jump high.
There are a few Thanksgiving questions here. White meat or dark meat? 54% say they prefer white meat. 31% said dark meat. How much gravy do you use? Do you just drown stuff in gravy? If mashed potatoes are good enough, it doesn't need gravy. Like if the mashed potatoes are good.
Mashed potatoes with a bunch of butter.
I think you guys have, well, not you guys, but then you must have had subpar gravy because like my grandma makes a gravy that's so good.
Well, that's escargot gravy.
No, it's not. Shut up. All right. It's a regular gravy. It's got like onions, I think, maybe some garlic. But it's so good. I would eat the gravy by itself. It's so good.
If I do use gravy, I try not to smother it. Do you smother?
Yeah. You got to smother everything
if it's
with
really
gravy.
good gravy.
With the gravy, it's delicious. When else are you eating gravy?
Now, if you're saying like it's that brown gravy that comes in a packet from Walmart and you're just...
No. You know who makes the best brown gravy? KFC.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah, it's all right.
Polls said 15% of people usually don't use any gravy. 17% prefer to drown it, and everybody else is somewhere in the middle.
Yeah,
you got to drench that hoe, you know?
Got to get her wet.
Great news, especially for women, because I feel like men have been doing this all along. A doctor says it's okay to pee in the shower, even if you're a lady.
Oh, interesting.
CNN talked to a urologist. I think there was a doctor that came out and said something about your pelvic floor and you shouldn't pee in the shower. And I don't think it got anybody to stop peeing in the shower. But the urologist that CNN talked to said, quote, there's no downside. It's just convenient. So let her rip. Maybe you've seen articles saying peeing in the shower is not a great idea for women. The claim is it doesn't let your pelvic floor muscles relax.
I've heard that before.
So you end up straining, but a urologist in New York says that that's not really true. Just relax. Here's what he says. Don't tense up. Just relax. Let it happen naturally, ladies.
Just let it go with the flow.
As long as you don't strain, you're fine.
Oh, you shouldn't be straining.
Also, peeing in the shower will not damage your pipes. They say there's literally no downside to it. And since showers wash it away so fast, it won't hurt your skin. You know what? What I've always heard is if you got athlete's feet, you're supposed to pee on your feet.
Right.
Have you heard that before too?
I have. Yeah.
Right. I thought my girlfriend was just weird.
Well, so if you're a woman, feel free to let it
Let it
flow
go.
in the shower. Right? If you're a man, you're probably doing it already. So just keep doing what you're doing. I'm ready now. So let's welcome him back.
All right,
in.
welcome, Nostra Dumbass.
All right. Welcome back.
The wise and
great.
mystical sage from the East. Thank you for being here.
I see some of you are already mentally on vacation.
Yeah, a
Yeah,
couple.
some of you, yeah.
All right, Master of Prognostication. Do you have any words of wisdom for us today?
Today, I have an opinion that I would like to share.
Oh, okay.
I am here to tell you that I think it is wrong to turn normal names like Karen into a bad word.
You think it's wrong to turn Karen names like Karen?
Anyone's name into a bad word. It's
Yeah.
a dick move. Now, please to be handing me the envelopes for today.
All right. These envelopes have been seen by nobody else and have been stored in a hermetically sealed mayonnaise jar that has been kept right next to Mike Tyson's jockstrap in the arena there in the locker room. So nobody is going near that. Here is envelope number 1.
Envelope number 1, I've never seen what is inside. I will predict the contents simply by holding the envelope to my forehead. I must concentrate.
Okay.
The longer you play with it, the harder it gets.
The longer you play with it,
the harder it gets.
Yes, the longer you play with it, the harder it gets. Describe a Rubik's Cube.
Yeah, that's a good one.
All right.
Envelope number 2, please.
Envelope number 2. Here you go.
Once again, hold the envelope to my turban-clad forehead. Bill Cosby's Romantic Life and Disney World for pass holders.
Can you do that one again?
Bill Cosby's Romantic Life and Disney World for pass holders.
Bill Cosby's Romantic Life and Disney World for pass holders.
Yes.
Okay.
Name 2 things that have a lot of blackout dates. Is that true about Disney pass holders?
I guess. I wouldn't know.
Envelope, Nico, number 3.
All right, here you go. Envelope number 3.
Go the extra mile.
Go the extra mile.
Yes, Joanna, very good. Go the extra mile.
Thank you.
What is something you should do in every job unless you are an Uber driver? You'll get no stars.
No stars. And last but not least,
All right.
envelope number 4. Finally.
Fourth and final.
Woo!
All right.
May the tag on all your shirts be extra itchy.
You bad.
Envelope number 4. A baseball player who just got called up to the big leagues and Matt Gates.
A baseball player who just got called up to the big leagues and Matt Gates.
Correct. A baseball player who just got called up to the big leagues and Matt Gaetz. Name two guys who spent some time in the minors.
Nice. Thank you very much, Nostra.
Oh, Nostra, thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. Make it count. 29 while supplies last. Giveaways in-store only. Must be 18 or older. Deals excluded from coupons. See store or jcp.com for details.
Originating in El Paso, for El Paso, the Buzz Adams Morning Show, 95.5 KLAQ.
Joanna Barba has the Hollywood Cheesemate on the way this morning. Get to that coming up. Also, there is a new Borderland Crimes podcast. And KVI anchor Stephanie Valle will be in to talk about the most recent Borderland Crimes podcast, an award-winning podcast.
Edward R. Murrow winning.
That's prestigious. Mm-hmm. So Stephanie's going to be in later.
Did you ever see the biopic about Murrow? I think it was called Good Night and Good Luck.
Yeah, it was George Clooney produced it and directed it.
Yeah.
It was
heavy.
It was pretty slow.
Yeah.
I mean, it was all about journalistic ethics and stuff.
Yeah, who has time for that?
Right.
What is this, 1940?
What is this, 2008? Joanna's got the Hollywood Cheesemate. One new movie coming out this weekend, Moana 2.
Moana!
Can't wait.
Come
on. Oh,
no one knows how far it goes.
I'm just kidding. I've never seen it.
I'm surprised that Joanna knows songs from
She has
it.
nephews.
No, that was just me. My nephews didn't want to see that.
I went by myself. Huh?
It was by me. Only me.
The Rock and the girl who played Moana return.
Awali Caravallo?
I'm glad you tried it, not me.
Hey, in our app chat, people are talking about our gravy debate.
You know what? I got to have gravy on biscuits. Nothing better than gravy and biscuits.
Yeah, but it has to be.
But I don't need
That's a different type of gravy.
That's a country
that white
There's
country
like
gravy.
different types of gravy, you know? Like a chicken fried steak gets a different kind of gravy.
I'm not going to put white gravy on.
Yeah, exactly. On my turkey.
My turkey? Gross.
People do. Well, what are people saying about?
Yeah, what do people say?
Oh,
gravy.
Popeye's fried chicken has rocking gravy. And that one, yes, I will agree because it's like Cajun kind of spiced.
Okay.
So I might even like that better than KFC.
Was that the only comment?
Oh, yeah, that's the only comment.
Hey, it's time to light up El Paso. No. I'm talking about holiday decorations. KLAQ and First Life Federal Credit Union invite you to light up El Paso, and you could win $1,000. So you've got until December 20th to share photos of your breathtaking holiday displays. And you can submit those using the KLAQ mobile app. Also on the app, you can find all the details and rules, and somebody's going to win $1,000 just for showing off the decorations. It's brought to you by First Life Federal Credit Union, more than a financial institution where banking feels like family. And 95.5 KLAQ. All right, Joanna, if you're ready to go, let's do it.
Joanna's Hollywood Cheesemate. Joanna's Hollywood Cheesemate.
Joanna's Hollywood Cheesemate.
Joanna, tell us more.
Here is Joanna Barbo with entertainment news. Good morning, Joanna.
Good morning. Well, sad news to start off. Jim Abrahams has passed away at the age of 80. Abrahams was perhaps best known as the writer and director of hit movies like Airplane and the TV shows like Police Squad. Airplane, of course, was a huge hit when it came out, grossing over $80 million during its theatrical run and found continued success for decades, becoming a cult classic.
Oh, yeah. Still holds up to this day.
Oh, amazing.
Right. Other notable films Abrahams worked on included The Naked Gun and Hot Shots. He teamed up with brothers Jerry and David Zucker.
Right? Yeah.
Yep, for the projects.
Those are some of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love all the Naked Guns.
The Naked Guns.
Hot Shots Part 2 is probably better than the first.
Than the first Hot Shots, yeah.
Abrahams is survived by his wife Nancy, as well as his children Joseph, Charlie, and Jamie. His daughter Jamie is also a comedy writer.
The jokes are also so stupid sometimes. It's
But
like
they land, you know?
like when
every
Charlie
time.
Sheen is shooting a chicken or rooster with his bow and arrows.
Oh, in Hot Shots.
In Hot Shots. What a dumb premise.
but
it's hilarious, yeah.
Hilarious. The legal battle between Marilyn Manson and Evan Rachel Wood is over. Manson has dropped his lawsuit against Wood and the pending appeal tied to the case. Howard Keene, Marilyn's attorney, told TMZ that the rocker is dropping it all in order to close the door on this chapter of his life. TMZ has also been told that Manson agreed to pay almost $327,000 in attorney's fees for Wood, something that he'd been ordered by the court to do back in February. Of course, Evan's legal team has a different take on the story, claiming that Manson dropped his suit because, quote, his attempt to silence and intimidate Ms. Wood failed. Either way, it's all done now.
You know what's weird?
So he paid her?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they were going to settle.
They were going to
probably.
settle, yeah.
You know what's weird is seeing pictures of them together, like in the press reports from back when they were dating
When they
or
were
together.
yeah.
She is just so classy. She's always dressed like really nice and classy, and then you see Marilyn Manson. Oh,
just being Marilyn Manson.
Just being Marilyn Manson. But how did a classy girl like really fall for that type of guy?
Nice girls like outlaws.
Nice girls like
It's
bad
not
boys.
an outlaw, it's
all
a
right?
ghoul.
They're like bad boys. And I guess he's a bad boy, like literally
a real bad boy.
A bad person. As Squid Game 2 draws closer, we're getting a better look at what the Deadly Challenges contestants will have to face. It looks like it's mostly new games, new players, with one player 456, returning to play again after winning in Season 1, which sounds like such a stupid move, but then he's also the one that returned in Season 1.
That's where the whole... Was this a series or a movie?
It was a series.
It was a series, right. And he gets away and he goes to the police and they don't believe him. So he goes back to the murder building.
He decides
Spoilers.
to go back in.
So dumb. Right then I was
so
like,
dumb.
I don't need to watch the rest.
And I couldn't stop. It did the exact opposite on me. I couldn't stop watching. Well, in the new trailer for the Netflix series, we see player 456 reveal his motivation to play the game again. And it's all to tear it all down. Squid Game 2 debuts on Netflix December 26th.
Did they play like hopscotch or leapfrog in the
They're
first
playing
one?
Loteria in this one.
Boggle.
Guys, come on. I'm going to deal Uno.
Yeah. Or you know what would be fun is like a human mousetrap.
Oh, God.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Or Operation.
Literal death. Ooh, Operation would be good. Yeah.
Oh, we should do our own murder-based thriller playing popular
children's games.
Milton Bradley board games.
Yeah. We could do Ouija.
Yeah. Well, they've already got the movie.
Oh, they already got Ouija. That's right.
That's the thing already. Finally, if you haven't gone to the theater to see Wicked in its final scene, which is apparently epic, good news, you don't have to be in the theater to witness it. The full 4-minute conclusion to the first part of Universal's smash hit is currently available on social platforms like X and TikTok for free. That's because fans can't seem to stop taking photos and recording full minutes-long clips of Wicked. These pirated videos and photos have been live and garnering millions of views, and the film has only been in theater for a few days. Wicked is hardly an exception. Supercuts of a shirtless, bloodied Paul Mescal rowing an ancient ship in Gladiator 2 have thirstily been posted on TikTok lately. So how is this getting past studios who are equipped with huge anti-piracy teams and armies of lawyers? For that matter, how is this getting past community guidelines on social media platforms? Well, nobody really knows how. One top film executive said, quote, "Something has happened post-pandemic where movie theater behavior has really changed. Younger audiences have a different relationship with the material, and it's all just content to them." Filmmakers and cybersecurity experts who spoke with Variety agreed that while the major studios have anti-piracy teams in place, they only have one sole focus, and that's ensuring that full movies do not appear on global torrents, where users can get copies of stolen movies with decent to flawless picture and sound quality.
I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea.
I have no idea what that means.
What a torrent
either.
is?
Not a clue.
What Demonoid is,
But
or BitTorrent.
they say that these teams are not equipped to play what they call whack-a-mole across hundreds of thousands of social media platforms. So it looks like for now, they just kind of have to deal with that.
Luckily, the social media platforms, there's no way to upload full content of the movie.
Right.
You would only be able to watch a snippet.
You would have to do it live.
Yeah.
And I think that what happened with us when we would do our live streams is if we didn't delete it at the end,
we
would get flagged. But I think for now, they're just like, we have to deal with this. This is not a priority. Their priority is those full-on global torrents.
Whatever you're talking about.
I don't know what that means either. With your entertainment news, I'm Joanna Barba.
I was completely unaware that it was only going to be half of Wicked. They broke it up into two parts.
Of course they did. If they
weren't calling it Wicked Part 1, but there was a point because I'd seen the stage musical 3 times.
They made 3 movies out of The Hobbit.
I know. You know, the Lord of the Rings books, each of those are big books, and they did a movie per book. And then when they did The Hobbit, which is a
even smaller
230-page book,
like,
they somehow stretched that out into 3 movies. But they weren't promoting it as Wicked Part 1.
Yeah, you're the one who told me it's only Part 1. And I'm like, wow, they're doing it like the actual play. This is an intermission.
I hate that I know some of these things, but I was reading about Wicked. I did not know that Kristen Chenoweth originated the role.
She did. And Idina Menzel was Alphaba.
Yeah, I had no idea about that either. And
watch for cameo.
But
in the theater.
I guess
that's not a spoiler, right?
I don't know.
No one would be surprised that
when no, that's not a spoiler. When Ariana Grande auditioned for the role, I guess the guy behind the original lyrics and music for Wicked from the stage production said that he wanted to change it up for the movie version, and he wanted to hip hop it up a little.
Oh, I did see that story.
And that he told Ariana Grande about it, and she was like, "No, I'm not gonna be Ariana Grande playing Galinda. I want to be Galinda." Yeah.
Well, they're both really good. They're both really super talented.
Nice.
I'll give you that.
Somebody in our app chat is saying Bush's chicken gravy tops all gravy. What's Bush's?
You know what? We used to have one just down the street, and it was really good chicken. I don't think we have a Bush's anymore.
That's a restaurant?
Yeah.
Bush's
chicken.
Was it within the last 10 years?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that place.
It was like right down the street.
Oh, there's one on Edgemere. I guess we only have one left.
Oh, wow.
It's go time tomorrow.
Hoy es Thanksgiving, tenemos que festejar, comiendo pavo y puré de papas, tal vez haya que cambiar. En el censo del 2010 contaron muchos latinos, así que a partir de ahora costumbres a cambiar vinimos. El día del taco, el día del taco.
Nico has kind of an interesting schedule for tomorrow, so just kind of lay out your day for us real quick. Give me like a 20-second version of what your day is going to be like tomorrow.
Oh, God. Well, I've got to...
Escargot for breakfast.
No, we don't do anything like that.
That's Christmas. Get it together, Buzz.
Christmas. It's for baby Jesus.
Yeah.
Wake up. So we're doing Thanksgiving in Las Cruces at the Double Eagle.
Really?
Yeah.
They're open Thanksgiving Day.
Apparently, they have a bomb-ass
I'm sure they
Thanksgiving.
do.
Nice.
Did you have to get reservations? You better get reservations.
We absolutely had to get reservations.
All right, so Thanksgiving in Las Cruces.
Las Cruces. Then I run back to El Paso to pick up my buddy Javi Bailon, who's another stand-up comic. Who's
that dude's hilarious.
You like Javi?
Yeah.
And he's going to be...
How do you know Javi?
I don't know him. I know him through social media.
He's really popular on TikTok now.
All right.
And he's going to be doing a guest spot for me at... Then we're going to drive up to... Ruidoso in the Mountain Gods.
You can see comedy on Thanksgiving evening?
Yep.
Afternoon?
At
evening?
the LOL Comedy Club inside in the Mountain Gods.
All right.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then back the same night, or you gonna camp out up there, stay for a while?
Luckily, we
Do you
get
think there's any snow yet in Ruidoso?
That's a good question.
I think they have, yeah.
We get a room every time.
Oh, that's great.
That's part of the deal?
Yeah, it's part of.
You guys share the room?
There. Well, he's just the guest spot, so.
Yeah, but.
So are you going to share the room?
I told him. I think so. I'm not. I think I'm just going to let him and his girlfriend have the room, and then I'm going to just come back tomorrow night.
Okay. All right.
So
well,
nice
it's a very
of you,
busy
Nico.
day.
Presenting the Thanksgiving Survival Checklist. Noise-canceling headphones. Xanax.
Shut up, you kids!
Eyes painted on your eyelids.
Honey? Honey?
The suicide hotline.
Shut this baby up!
A dog to feed crappy stuff to under the table.
Shut up, you.
Whiskey hidden all over the house. Cigarettes stashed in the bushes.
Honey?
Reason to go to the store.
I'll be back.
Often.
Oh, we're out of eggs. No, we're not. I'll be back. Honey?
And of course, a stack of singles.
Now up on the main stage, it's Brandy. Oh, this is a holiday. Honey? Pipe me.
This has been your Thanksgiving Survival Checklist.
Hey, have you noticed that you never seem to get laid much on Thanksgiving?
Requires eligible plan, coverage, and other restrictions apply. Visit att.com/onenetwork for details.
Live from the KLAQ studios, the Buzz Adams Morning Show. Courtesy of Glasheen, Vyas, and Inderman Personal Injury Lawyers at GVILaw.com.
Coming up, I have 15 fun facts about the Macy's Day Parade.
Oh, how fun.
People line up no matter what the weather's like. I guess it's going to be raining in New York tomorrow for the Macy's Day Parade.
That would suck.
Also, there have been big accidents involving those inflatable characters. Did you know that?
Like people
those
crushed
they weigh tons. Even though they're filled with helium. Yeah, no, it's done damage to buildings before. Anyway, bunch of Macy's parade fun facts coming up here in just a few seconds. Let's get a phone call or two. The neckline is active today, even though it's, day before we go on a break. You can call the neckline anytime and leave us a message. That number is 844-805-NECK, 844-805-6325. Or you can call us directly on the studio line, and that is 915-910-4995, 910-4995.
Hey, man, so this is old Texas Pete. Hey, so is Donald T, I heard he's going to get rid of the democracy, and he's going to have it where his bloodline rules.
Did he say Donald T?
I'm going to be honest, I got none of that.
You didn't get any of it?
No,
I think he's
none
talking
of that.
about Donald Trump, right?
All right.
And I mean, I might be a Republican, but I ain't no idiot. We all know it's going to go to Barron. It ain't going to go to the other dummies. I think he'll do a lot better. Anyways, this wall, are we going to build a wall in the north? Because winter is coming, and come on, we need that wall up, all right? All right, y'all take care.
Okay.
I just need him to say, you just let everybody know what happened here today.
Ooh, I'm about to make a name for myself.
Please call
What's
back.
up, Mo Show? It's ODG. Hey, Buzz. Since you don't like when they pardon the turkeys,
it's stupid.
How about next Thanksgiving, we make the turkeys fight to the death, like the roosters fight with their little claw blades.
Yeah, we could get Padilla involved.
Do a cockfight?
Or we execute the turkeys with a bullet to the head, execution style. What? With a Beretta or a Desert Eagle. Have a happy Thanksgiving, you turkeys. And Joanna's Hollywood cheesemate cut out halfway today.
No. Oh, yeah, I
just
did.
went to silence. I think Lilo and Stitch live action looks fun. It looks cool. Okie dokie.
That's when we had technical difficulties yesterday.
What? You mean in the 5 o'clock hour or yesterday?
Yesterday.
Does he listen a day late? That's what's going on with...
No, I think he was listening in real time there because it happened...
No, this is a neckline call. So he's calling after the show when he listened to the podcast, I think. Unless the podcast was able to clear that up.
The podcast would have also already have my full entertainment.
Oh, it would?
It would have, but when we did the replay, sorry to say
that's
it.
ODG, and I know ODG is one of our regular callers who lives outside the El Paso area. He lives in Odessa. And usually when I get a call from him, he's referencing things from the day before. So I don't know. I couldn't.
Either way, I'm happy to report that the issue has been fixed. Thank you, Mike, our engineer.
Oh, great. All right. So that problem is taken care of. Joanne, are you out doing anything this weekend, or you just got like pure days off?
I got pure days off. I plan on being drunk starting tonight till Sunday.
Oh, Buzz told me he was like, I'm gonna bed rot.
You're gonna bed rot. Nice.
No, I said bed rock. I'm gonna make my bed rock.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Lots of sex. So you are planning on going out and partying with your gays?
Yes.
That's cool. What happened? You weren't on the party train for a long time, Joanna.
I wasn't. No.
And you like it now?
Yeah, remember
Thanksgiving's a special time of year.
Yeah, remember I said if I wasn't cuffed to someone by October, Party Girl was coming back. My Party Girl.
Party Girl Joanna.
And the cuffing fell through?
Yeah, it didn't work out for
me
at
all. What about the cucking? Are you going out to do stuff like karaoke? Or are you like just going out to the bars to
just drinking and
drinky-okie? This year marks the 100th anniversary of the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Hey, look at that.
100
years, 1924.
It's as old as Joe Biden.
Almost. The first one in 1924 happened when store employees marched to Macy's Herald Square dressed in vibrant costumes. There were floats at the first one, professional bands, and live animals borrowed from the Central Park Zoo.
They just took some animals?
Can we borrow that zebra?
Yeah. These are 15 interesting facts about the Macy's Parade. The Macy's Parade became an annual tradition after the first one attracted a crowd of over 250,000 people.
Whoa.
Despite limited publicity leading up to it, 250,000 people showed up to watch it.
That's
you got to
cool.
remember, people were starved for entertainment back in those days. People would show up and wave to ships as they left the harbor.
That was the fun activity.
You know those people couldn't see you.
They didn't know that.
John Mulaney does a whole bit about that.
Oh.
So that first one, 250 people showed up to watch it. So they said, let's make it bigger and better. Before the Macy's Parade, there was an annual Thanksgiving ragamuffin parade.
A ragamuffin?
Yes. So let me describe that to you.
What the hell is a ragamuffin?
Ragamuffin.
You know what a ragamuffin is, like a Dickensian orphan.
Okay.
David Copperfield.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. No, that helps. Like Oliver Twist.
There you go.
Was a ragamuffin.
Sure he was. Local children dressed up as beggars and asked adults on the street for pennies, candies, and apples. The Macy's Parade ended that tradition. So 100 years ago,
hey, we
Macy's
have a bunch
Parade,
of kids that are acting homeless.
and the actual homeless people are offended by it.
Yeah. So let's start a parade, guys. We need something to do for these kids.
The character balloons debuted 3 years later in 1927, and the first character balloon was anybody?
It wouldn't have been Mickey. He would have been. That would have been too late. Who would have it been? Oh, like
Raggedy Ann.
Uncle Sam.
Felix the Cat.
Oh.
Nice.
The parade was broadcast on the radio for the first time in 1932. The first televised parade was in 1946, but it was limited to the New York area and only people who had the relatively new technology of television. So maybe a couple of dozen people. Another Macy's Day Parade fun fact, the Thanksgiving Day Parade floats were pulled by horses until 1939. They got replaced by cars.
Also, I guess they did have helium. Sure. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, it hadn't been invented yet.
Yeah, they didn't invent helium yet. The Hindenburg had just happened.
Another fact, Macy's canceled the parade during World War II from 1942 to 1944.
Another thing we can blame Hitler for.
They canceled the parade because there were shortages of rubber and helium.
For the war effort.
Another fact. Thanks to the parade, Macy's is reportedly the second largest consumer of helium in the world. Only the U.S. government consumes more helium.
Wow.
What do you think they use it for? Just doing funny cartoon voices at the Pentagon. It kind of relieves the stress.
Or is it all for today for Macy's? Like that today's the one day
They
where
reserve it just for that.
No. I'm talking about the U.S. government. What does the U.S. government use so much
what do they need it for?
Oh, that's a good point. Liquid helium's used to cool things and for rocket boosters. So
we don't have a lot of dirigibles anymore, do we?
No, like Zeppelins.
Like a Zeppelin.
No. Actually, we do have the one that guards the border. There's one of a Zeppelin down valley.
One character has appeared in the Macy's parade more than any other character. Snoopy. Snoopy has appeared 43 times, and sometimes it's a different balloon. The most recent one was Beagle Scout Snoopy. Snoopy is going to be in the parade this year as well.
All right.
Wait, did you not just think that fact was the one before that Macy's uses 50% of the world's...
I didn't say 50%. I said it's the second largest consumer of helium.
Oh, okay. Well, either way, is it this? They consume all that helium in one day? Yeah.
I would assume, right?
Yeah. It's insane. What are you looking for?
Coffee cup.
I just see and hear Sparks' tail wagging over there hitting something.
I got my dog in the studio today, folks. I've never done this before.
Stop it.
It's so cute.
The singers on the parade floats all lip sync.
Aww.
That's true even if they're amazing live performers. The floats are not equipped to deliver the proper sound quality. So everything's...
Well, that's how Ferris Bueller did it.
Yeah.
He lip synced.
What the hell kind of parade was that? They had a bunch of German chicks and they were
day.
playing the Beatles Twist and Shout?
Right.
Yeah, why?
Why was there a parade in the middle of the day?
What were they celebrating?
Wasn't
it
German
Chicago?
Yeah, it was Chicago. It was a school day. I don't know.
Have you heard the fan theory that maybe Ferris really was sick and the whole day is in his head?
I've heard it that it's the friend Cameron who's like
who
delusional.
imagines that he is friends with who he thinks is the coolest guy in high school, Ferris Bueller, and he, because he has such a tumultuous home life with his, his father's a dick about that car in the garage and everything, that he imagines hanging out with the two coolest kids.
Ferris Bueller, you're my hero.
Another fact. Marching bands have to apply more than 1 year ahead of time for a spot.
So we need to get started now.
Well, we need to learn to play band instruments first. A Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade movie was once in the works with a premise that involved the oversized balloons coming to life. Nothing ever came of it, at least not yet. I'm going to skip some here because these are a lot of,
they're just not interesting.
Yeah, they're interesting. This year's parade is scheduled to begin at 6:30 El Paso time and will run for a full 3.5 hours until noon Eastern. It'll air on NBC as usual, along with streams on Peacock and Fubo.
You said it like
Fubo.
Do you know what that is?
It's like the brand of like urban outerwear for us, by us.
That's Fubu.
Oh, that's Fubu. Sorry. This year's parade will feature 6 new character balloons, 4 new balloonicles, and 7 new floats.
Oh, all right.
And final fun fact about the parade. New York City will be wet tomorrow, but the parade will happen rain or shine. There was some concern that strong winds could keep the balloons grounded like they were in 1971 and 2019. But the forecast looks okay as far as the winds go, but people are probably going to get rained on tomorrow. So there are 15 interesting facts about the Macy's Day Parade.
And now, thoughts from a balloon handler at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Worst job ever. Hey, Bill, how'd you spend your Thanksgiving? Freezing my butt off while getting rope burn? It's not fair. Everyone else in the parade gets to wave. But if I do that, my balloon hits a building and pops. And then America knows me as the guy who killed Garfield. People still into Garfield? All the kids are asking, where's Bluey? My nose really itches. Maybe I can scratch it and just let go for a quick second. Oh, my balloon!
It's gonna hit the building!
Daddy, he killed Garfield!
No.
He killed Garfield! He killed Garfield!
Those were the thoughts of a balloon handler at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
You enjoyed that one, didn't you?
That's hilarious. Daddy, kill Garfield.
Take a break. When we come back, Nico Jimian's up next with news headlines.
The children of a longtime D.B. Cooper suspect have turned over possible proof in the case. I'll have details next in news.
$5. See the station websites and directly through our station's mobile app. Seize deals and save money with dining deals.
The Buzz Adams Morning Show, Monday through Friday, 5 to 10. KLAQ and KLAQ HD1, El Paso, a town square media station.
Nico's all set to get into news headlines. About 30 minutes. Stephanie Valle from ABC 7's coming by. There's a new Borderland Crimes podcast.
We're not happy about the crime, but we're happy that Stephanie's back.
We got a call.
Oh, awesome.
And it says that it's another Macy's Day Parade, or Thanksgiving Day Parade fun fact. Hi, who's this?
Elizabeth?
Hi, Elizabeth.
Hey.
What's going on?
Hi. So I was listening to the radio on the way to work last night. I work nights. Apparently, Macy's has to pay to be showed on NBC. And according to what I heard last night, they have to pay upwards of something like 60 or 600 million in the next coming years just to be aired on NBC.
Macy's pays almost $1 billion for NBC to carry the parade.
Oh, that's insane.
I said that too.
That sounds nuts. All right. Thanks, Elizabeth.
Yeah, thank you very much for listening. Elizabeth is right. According to Yahoo Finance, Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade broadcast rights leap to potential $60 million price tag for NBC.
$60 million.
NBC is renegotiating
NBC pays. Who pays who? Macy's pays NBC or NBC pays Macy's? Because what I took her to say was that Macy's pays NBC $60 million. Can you get to the bottom of this?
Wait, so you're saying it would make more sense if
I just don't know.
NBC...
I mean, you've got the article in front of you.
I've got the AI summary.
Well, all right. Good enough for the day before Thanksgiving.
The network, Peacock is said to be lining up a deal to keep the parade in place for the next 10 years. Maybe that's why the price tag went really high.
Yeah, but
I know, I'm looking. Okay, so in 2023, NBC earned $52 million in advertising. I'm going to have to read the whole thing right now.
You can't just...
What? You do it. Google it. Look it up. I don't know.
Hell yeah!
Oh, yeah. It's not saying it in the first paragraph.
Oh, God, here we go again. Let's get this started.
Oh, my. All right. Well, now I'm invested. I want to know, like, who pays who?
Do you want to Google it yourself?
Nope. I don't care that much.
Okay, neither do I. Neither do I. All right, let's get into the news. How are you guys doing?
Hi. Good.
Hello. Good morning.
Thank you. How's Spark doing in there?
Good.
Just all right.
Chilling.
He's right next to me.
Cute.
As always, because he loves my kisses. What? What's wrong with that? Why do you shake your head?
You don't give your dog kisses, do you, Buzz?
No.
Oh, he doesn't give his kids or wife kisses either.
That's sad.
Yeah, well, that dog, I see him looking at...
I'm not kissing his mouth.
He's not Frenching him.
People do. People come over and just start kissing random people's dogs, getting the tongue involved. I'm like, are you crazy?
I give him a little peck on his forehead.
A little forehead kissy.
A little forehead kiss.
I want to see before the end of the day, you give Spark a forehead kissy, Buzz. Everybody loves forehead kisses.
He prefers to be petted. I'm pretty sure.
Have you petted?
No.
All right.
Oh, God.
Let's get
over
into
the sweater.
the news. At 9 p.m. Eastern time last night, a ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah militants in southern Lebanon went into effect. The announcement of the deal came just after Israel carried out the most intense wave of strikes on Beirut since the fighting began. President Joe Biden announced the deal yesterday, which was jointly negotiated by the U.S. and France. Here are the terms of the deal. A 60-day halt to fighting. Hezbollah will end its armed presence in southern Lebanon, and Israel will withdraw its troops back across the border. From October 8th through yesterday, it's estimated almost 4,000 people were killed in Lebanon, while over 100 Israeli soldiers and civilians have been killed. At a press conference, President Joe Biden announced the ceasefire deal. Here he is.
Let's be clear. Israel did not launch this war. The Lebanese people did not seek that war either, nor did the United States. This is designed to be a permanent cessation of hostilities. What is left of Hezbollah and other terrorist organizations will not be allowed, I emphasize, will not be allowed to threaten the security of Israel again.
Also, Joe Biden made a point that the U.S. isn't sending our people over there.
There will be no U.S. troops deployed in southern Lebanon. This is consistent with my commitment to the American people to not put U.S. troops in combat in this conflict. Instead, we, along with France and others, will provide the necessary assistance to make sure this deal is implemented fully and effectively.
And the president had strong words for the terrorist organization Hamas.
And so now Hamas has a choice to make. Their only way out is to release the hostages, including American citizens, which they hold. In the process, bring an end to the fighting, which would make possible a surge of humanitarian relief.
Well, good news for Medicare and Medicaid recipients. The Biden administration announced new plans that would help more people get access to weight loss medications if you're on Medicare and Medicaid. The proposed new rule...
everybody's going to get Ozempic now.
The proposed new rule would expand access... Are you on Medicaid or Medicare? Medicare is for old people. Medicaid is for...
Never mind.
The less fortunate. The proposed new rule would expand access to drugs like Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro, and Zepbound. Currently, Medicare has blocked payment for weight loss drugs unless they're used to treat diabetes. The administration's making a simple change to make this possible. Obesity drugs would be classified as a treatment for chronic diseases like obesity under the new rule. A month's supply of one of these weight loss drugs can currently cost around $1,000 every month.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Under the proposed change, the federal government would
That's
pick
out
up
of pocket, $1,000.
Yeah. The federal government would pick up the majority of that cost.
Well, I learned a lot about these medications
from South Park.
From South Park, yeah, that's right.
Buzz, Joanna, after we watched the South Park thing, Buzz is like, we need to start a compounding pharmacy now.
Because that's what the boys do. They realize...
I didn't catch half of that. I was on the phone. What happened?
Cartman can't get Ozempic because his doctor won't say that he has diabetes.
Did you hear my story, Joanna?
Yes, I heard Medicare, Medicaid, Ozempic.
Right. So Buzz was saying that he learned everything about this issue from South Park.
The most recent one, I think.
And afterwards, he was saying he wanted to start a compound pharmacy because we could make
order
so
all
much.
the ingredients from
India or somewhere.
India or someplace, and then compound it themselves, and everybody was getting free Ozempic.
Our folks, as President Biden is still president. Want to lose weight fast? Then you need Joe Zempic, the injection that makes you lose weight, man. So now you can eat whatever you want and just take the Joe Zempic and you lose the weight from the food. Even if you eat ice cream all day and night, the Joe Zempic, it'll work with the ice cream weight, with the when you eat the ice cream. And oh hell, just listen to this Joe Zempic success story, man.
I tried Joe Zempic for a few months, and the weight just melted off. And
What kind of ice cream do you like?
Huh?
I like vanilla and chocolate and cookies and cream. And
I don't like ice cream.
What's wrong with you? What kind of person doesn't eat with the eating of the
ice cream?
Don't mind if I do. Joe Zempic. Try it today, man. Joe Zempic. That's the thing, man.
Hey, here's Elizabeth back, and we
good.
didn't have the best connection on the phone there. But Elizabeth wants to explain the deal between NBC and Macy's. Hi, Elizabeth.
Sorry, I was going over the mountain.
Yeah,
so
I understand.
That's probably why it was a bad connection. So from what I understand, it's whoever is sponsoring the Macy's Day Parade, maybe they make some kind of colecta or something. But whoever is sponsoring it, for example, Macy's and whoever else is teaming up with them, they have to pay that $60 million to just air it on the thing. It doesn't. I don't know about them actually putting on the parade, but for NBC to air it, they have to pay these monies to show it on air. Just kind of like how us as consumers now have to pay NBC just to watch a football game.
I got you. So NBC would not put on the parade if they weren't getting paid to do it. I thought they put on the parade because so many people like to tune in and watch it. But then I realized I haven't done that since I was like 10.
How would they be? How would Macy's make any money off of this?
I mean,
just getting people in their stores? I mean, no.
TV, advertisement, kind of like the Super Bowl, that they get all kinds of endorsements from the commercials.
I'm kind of shocked every time I go to Silla Vista and see that there's still a Macy's store open. You know, it seems like they've been.
I'm kind of, I have teenage kids, and I've taken them shopping for school stuff because now they have to be in uniforms and stuff. Half the stuff that's in those stores looks like the popular kids from Clueless movie. Like, who wears that anymore?
Okay.
But
thanks, Elizabeth. Thanks for the clarification.
no problem. Thanks.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right. Moving on.
Yeah.
To news. All right.
Ozempic. Joanna, has there been any further developments in your quest for Ozempic?
No.
Still not able to get it?
No.
Okay. Maybe just eat a bunch of sugar and just like get over the threshold.
Purposely give myself diabetes.
Yeah.
So that they can prescribe
Well,
it
I don't
for
think
me.
you have to give yourself full-blown diabetes. You could just be like pre-diabetic. And
Just eat a bunch of sugar before my next doctor's appointment. Like, you see, I
Spike
need
it
it.
up there.
That's not a bad idea.
We have to get you on Ozempic stat.
Well, the House of Representatives in Australia passed a bill yesterday that would ban children under 16 from social media, including TikTok, Facebook, Snapchat, Reddit, X, and Instagram. The bill would make the platforms liable for fines up to $33 million for failures to prevent young children from having those accounts. The legislation passed with a resounding 102 to 13 vote. Now moves to the Senate. If it passes there and becomes law, social media platforms would have a year to figure out how to implement these restrictions before any penalties would be enforced, and it would be the first law of its kind in the entire world. Former New York City Rudy Giuliani can't call a cab.
You left out the word mayor.
Oh, I did. Excuse me. Former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani can't even call a cab. In a hearing on the defamation judgment against him in federal court yesterday, U.S. District Judge Louis Lyman chastised Giuliani after the former mayor launched into complaints during the hearing, saying, "I have no car, no credit card, no cash. Everything I have is tied up." Then complained he can't pay his bills. The Georgia election workers Giuliani was found guilty of defaming have alleged that Giuliani hasn't turned over all of his assets to help pay almost $150 in judgments against him. After the hearing, Giuliani told reporters that the judge, Lyman, was a serious left-wing Democrat. But Giuliani was left speechless when he was confronted with the fact that the judge was nominated.
Nico, look at the screen. That's the chrome artist of Giuliani. She's drawing him like a madman.
Did you hear me, though, that he called the judge a serious left-wing Democrat? But the judge was nominated for a seat by President Trump during his administration?
Well, I think that's just the playbook. If something doesn't go your way in court and you're connected to the MAGA movement at all, you just call them libtards and cucks or whatever, right?
Yeah. Well, when asked if he regretted defaming the two Georgia women, Giuliani said, "I do not regret it for a minute. I regret the persecution I've been put through, though."
To turn over.
Yeah.
Here is Rudy Giuliani after the hearing and his outburst talking about how broke he is.
Turned out exactly as I expected. He ruled against us on everything. The reality is, I have no cash. It's all tied up. So right now, if I wanted to call a taxi cab, I can't do it.
Well, it was a day of announcements from the Biden administration. It was announced that the U.S. Department of Energy will loan $6 billion to electric vehicle manufacturer Rivian Automotive to build a factory in Georgia. The company has struggled to become profitable since its beginning, making large electric SUVs, pickups, and delivery vans at a factory in Illinois. While the current line of vehicles cost $70,000 or more for each one, the vehicles the company plans to make at the Georgia plant will be smaller and with a lower price point. With the loan, the company plans to start production at the new Georgia plant in 2028, if the Trump administration allows the deal to stand. Who knows what Elon has to say about this? And having a traffic accident can be traumatic, but this is very over the top. Just past midnight on Tuesday, a large box truck ran into the back of an RV in North Carolina. What made the incident so unusual, though, was what was inside the RV. There were 5 people in the RV, and this is the one that got rear-ended. There were 28 snakes, 2 tortoises, 5 bearded dragons, 2 dogs, and a cat, and a partridge in a pear tree. At least one. I'm glad
We're all in sync.
We're all in sync. We don't even have to talk to each other, and we know. At least one of the snakes was a small, highly venomous viper, which was caught by its owner before EMS arrived. A North Carolina. So I guess the truck running into it let them escape. A highway patrol trooper.
If you're wondering why the RV had so many animals, this guy does reptile exhibits and stuff and travels around.
Okay,
it's not just letting people.
That helps.
That
helps.
Definitely a question I had.
It's not just like
he's just
pets.
transporting his pets around.
I'm completely picturing that scene from Pee-wee's Big Adventure where the pet shop is on fire and Pee-wee runs like he keeps looking at the snakes and then finally the last scene he runs out.
Well, a highway patrol trooper said, in 19 years, I have never seen anything like this. None of the 43 creatures inside the RV were injured. But
did any of them get away?
No, none of them go. They were all recovered. Yeah. But the driver of the box truck was seriously injured and taken to the hospital. Authorities believe he fell asleep at the wheel.
Oh.
Do you want to hear some of the audio? The owner of the RV does reptile expos and had to round the snakes up himself.
I would love to hear.
So we're going to hear from the tow truck driver who showed up and the owner of the RV.
I would say it's in the top 10 of different.
I had some venomous snakes get loose in the camper, so I had to come back in there trying to get them snakes before the EMS personnel come in, you know.
I do not like snakes. I do not like snakes at all.
I'm with you, tow truck guy. Don't care for me. Me, the tow truck guy, and Pee Wee Herman do not like, and Indiana Jones. All of us don't like snakes.
Okay, so I have 2 stories about Thanksgiving. One is the fact that travel time is ramping up. I don't know if anybody has to travel tomorrow. God help you if you do. The lines will be long.
You mean like at airport specifically?
Airport specifically. Like as of today, there are already 220 flights delayed. But there are less than 20 cancellations, which is nice. The TSA advises travelers need to arrive at the airport at least 2 hours early. And if you're flying on Friday, add another hour to that time, or today. Storms could hamper travel in some locations during the long holiday.
I think there's weather. Also, there's a shortage of air traffic controllers. We heard about that earlier in the week.
Mm-hmm. A suspicious item in a checked bag for a flight to Charlotte, North Carolina, caused a delay itself. Roads to the airport were blocked and passengers on board a flight had to deplane. Well, what happened? It was a snow globe that one person mistook for a bomb. A TSA spokesperson notes, fortunately, it turned out it was nothing dangerous. Turned out it was just a Christmas item that contained electronics and a timer inside. So I guess when the snow globe, okay, think about it
Who
like
was
this.
it, like the TSA person?
Think about it like
flagged
this.
or something?
Yeah, the TSA did. It went through the X-ray, and the X-ray showed a spherical item
with a bunch of
wires and electronics in it. And they thought,
bomb.
Also, a tiny little Santa with specks of snow falling down. It's a weird bomb, but I guess you got to check out everything, right?
Yeah. So don't take or ship any snow globes on a plane. And an old tradition for Thanksgiving is actually being called a great idea by experts. Back in the day, families would take a walk around the block after eating a large Thanksgiving dinner to make room for dessert.
I take a walk before.
Yeah, this is a
I
after
take
dinner.
a walk before, during, the middle, and after. Yeah.
It's a lot, Buzz.
Well, this is about the after walk. Nicholas Fisher, a registered dietitian for MedStar Health, says it is actually a healthy move.
Well, I think anytime you get up and walk is probably going to be a healthy move, right?
Especially after that meal, yeah.
That's what he says. He notes that going for a 5-minute walk, that's all you need after eating, can help improve digestion and your energy. Another benefit, walking helps control blood sugar levels and circulates all those nutrients while getting your circulation going. So here's the chance to start your new healthy family tradition.
All right. Going for a walk.
Going for a walk. And I know I teased you about D.B. Cooper. Are you a big D.B. Cooper fan?
I
bet you had every book
aware
on
of
it.
D.B. Cooper.
I bet you had every book on it. I bet you read a bunch of this stuff already.
I've read articles about it. So, I don't know, 50 years ago, guy hijacks a plane. I'm trying to remember. I did once listen to a podcast that was all about it. He made him land, and somehow he stole a bunch of money, and
Still hasn't been found.
He got a parachute, and he jumped out of the plane over the Cascade Mountains.
He stole over $200,000. He
never found him.
hijacked a plane. And they have not found him. Well,
And his name is not D.B. Cooper. His name's not D.B. Cooper. They don't know who
we don't know
was,
who it is.
But there has been a development.
There has been a development, which I will tell you after a break.
Oh, we're going to take a break, and then you're going to tell me?
I'm tingling with anticipation.
That's right.
I'm on tenterhooks. Well, Joanna's got the late night roundup ready for us. All the funniest. You do have it, right?
Yeah.
According to a new survey, the average American man has 3 close friends, which, if you're over 30, are coworker, brother-in-law, and that guy at the gym. I think his name's Greg.
They did a survey. They found that 35% of Americans consider turkey to be their least favorite Thanksgiving dish, which, I don't know, I like. Turkey's kind of like the Aquaman of Thanksgiving. Might not be your favorite, but the Justice League isn't complete without him, right? Once again, at the top of the list, most popular Thanksgiving food is, the 10-milligram pot gummy you eat in the car on the way to your in-laws.
I read that the most popular time to eat Thanksgiving dinner is between 2 and 3 p.m. Serving dinner at 2 p.m. is a polite way of telling your guests, we'd love to get you out of here as soon as possible.
For those of you who cannot be with family this Thanksgiving, we're very jealous.
Reliving past credit union, more solution, where banking feels like family. First Light is here to light the way. Details at kisselpaso.com.
Come on, where's your Turkey Day spirit?
Life is a subscription, and Thanksgiving is your family's yearly charge.
Happy Turkey Day.
Happy Thanksgiving from the Buzz Adams Morning Show.
I didn't know you had any more news stories to get to.
What did I end with? Last one.
I don't remember.
Dude, how are you not?
About halfway checked
How are you bad at this right now? Yeah, you're pretty bad at this today. I was talking about D.B. Cooper in my last.
Oh, yeah.
How did you? That was literally 5 minutes ago.
A lot of people showed up. The studio became extra popular.
And you forgot that we were still talking about this.
I brought my dog in today, so I'm halfway distracted by making sure that he doesn't, mark the studio.
Did you try and take him outside and give him a pee?
I did.
And did he?
No.
That accident's still happening. He's saving it.
All right, so tell me about DB Cooper.
Okay, well, we have two guests in studio.
Hi.
Stephanie Vaya and Jenny Robbins.
Hello.
And
I thought you were on your phone. I'm looking over there, and you're holding the headphone, and I
picked it up and
thought
wanted-
it was your phone, and you were talking to
It's one of the
somebody.
cheaper
I'm
ones.
like,
I have
that's,
some etiquette. No,
I was like, I wouldn't go on your show and talk on the phone.
No, I picked up the headphone and one came off, and I was like, well, which one do I opt?
It's the one
Doesn't make
Steve
do.
uses, and he breaks everything.
Oh my God, how embarrassing.
So Stephanie's here. There's a new
let me try this.
Borderland Crimes podcast, kind of different episode, and we'll explain why coming up. And Jenny Robbins is here from Los Angeles.
That's right.
Hi, Jenny.
Hello. Thanksgiving break.
Jenny is in for Thanksgiving. You're going to turn it into Drinksgiving, which could then turn into Blackout Wednesday. You know what that?
Yeah.
You guys know what that is?
Tonight's the night everybody goes out. 'cause
Yeah,
everybody's
everybody goes
off
out.
tomorrow.
Well, everybody's off, and also a lot of people are back in town who live out of town.
Mm-hmm. It's the
Joanna's
meetup. It's the big meetup.
Joanna says she's going to tear it up tonight.
I'm going to be drunk starting tonight till Sunday.
Yeah, you can find her in the Briar Patch
You can find
or
me
the
at
Toolbox.
The toolbox for cocktails.
Okay, Buzz, in our app chat, we have some clarification on a couple things we were just talking about. Oh, thank you, Alberto.
Hey, Alberto. Alberto showed up.
Wow, it's a full house tonight.
And a dog.
Yeah, that's for you. Take a seat. Okay, we were talking about Ferris Bueller. What was the parade during Ferris Bueller?
I don't know. There were like German.
It was a
Frau-
St. Patrick's Day parade, according to somebody in our app chat.
And they just had the Beatles queued up and ready to go when he got on the float.
Yeah.
We're talking about Ferris Bueller.
Oh, I figured.
And somebody explained our NBC Macy's Day Parade thing. Okay, so they sent me a screenshot. Here is what it says. Under the new terms, NBC is going to pay over $60 million annually to broadcast the parade. They're going to pay Macy's a steep increase from the $20 million it used to do.
Somebody called in and said that Macy's pays NBC, and I wanted you to check and see if that was right.
No,
NBC
it's like Macy's is the producer of the show, and NBC is like, oh, we want to be able to,
They're
show
paying
that.
for the rights.
They're paying for the rights. That's right. And we're talking about DB Cooper. Do you know anything about DB Cooper?
I was listening to you guys on the way in, and I remember the whole DB Cooper flying out of, or parachuting out of a plane after stealing money. It's pretty nuts. I've heard theories that that he might have
got eaten by a
died.
Bigfoot.
Yeah, I mean that he died.
Well, so he hijacked a
They
Boeing.
found some of the money.
Yeah.
They found money years later.
Well, why don't you
Somebody
explain how after he hijacked, he jumped out of the plane, he parachuted out, and that's when they found some of the money, like in the forest somewhere or where
Yeah,
else.
but it was years later.
Later.
Somebody found some of the money.
And people
which
think he
had
might have died from
deteriorated
the parachuting.
Where was he when he parachuted out of the plane?
over the Cascade Mountains in Washington or Idaho.
Yeah,
Somewhere in there.
weren't they saying that it might have been just simply too cold, that even if he did land, he would have
Right.
died?
There's a lot of people, but no
usually
body
don't-
was found.
I usually don't go for the villains, but I'm kind of hoping DB Cooper got away.
Wins in this one.
Went down
we're
to
all
Mexico
hoping.
to Zihuatanejo.
On him with a Mai Tai on the beach.
Yeah.
Well, there is a new turn in this interesting tale. The children of one of the prime suspects in the DB Cooper Boeing hijacking in 1971 turned over a logbook and parachute they found on their property.
What?
Podcaster Dan Greider is a Cooper investigator. He says the children of Richard McCoy Jr. waited until their mother passed away before coming forward so she wouldn't be charged, since the items were in her storage unit.
Wait. They went out in the woods and found.
You have to pay attention, dude. You have to pay attention if you're going to be part of the conversation.
Well, I was
feisty today.
I was looking up the Wikipedia.
He's been
on DB
terrible all
Cooper.
day today.
He's just turning red back here. He's like getting his parent.
Buzz, look. Okay. You see this?
Yeah.
Children of suspected DB Cooper, Richard McCoy Jr., okay? They say they found a parachute and logbook on their property, okay? In a storage unit.
Oh. So he took the parachute with him after he parachuted to
Yeah,
freedom,
I don't believe
guess.
that. Why would you carry the parachute with you? You know?
Well, McCoy died in a police shooting after escaping from jail where he was housed following another hijacking over Utah. That happened 5 months after the infamous DB Cooper plane jacking, where the suspect skydived away with $200,000. The parachute and logbook have been turned over to the FBI.
Oh, and just for clarification, he didn't rob a bank. The $200,000 he got was in ransom because he had hijacked the plane.
Oh, and they gave him the money?
And they gave him the money. They landed.
Oh, yeah.
And then took off again, and he had the money, so he parachuted out of the plane.
So
I thought if you parachuted like a jetliner?
Yeah, you would like suck all the air pressure, right?
It was 1971. It was a Boeing. Yeah, I know
they
did.
still had jets.
Yeah, they did. Well, the FBI stopped investigating the case in 2016 completely. So this is a very big turn.
So it's like, here's the parachute.
And a logbook. A logbook of, well, I don't know what it was logging, but...
Right, he wasn't flying the plane or anything. He was not flying the plane.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, so, logbook for what?
In 1980, a small portion of the ransom money was found along the banks of the Columbia River near Vancouver, Washington. That reanimated public interest in the story. And the FBI had maintained the active investigation up until, as you said, 2016. Here's a good tie-in. The hijacking took place on Thanksgiving Eve.
Oh my gosh, did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Did you plan this?
I didn't, but...
Say yes, I did.
Yes, I did. That's how good of a news person I am.
I think we should do it again.
Right.
Should I go hijack a...
Wow, that's fascinating.
Yeah, I totally knew what I was doing right now. I have no idea what I'm doing, Stephanie.
I heard you on the mic.
Stephanie's... Like the real news person is like, yeah, whatever.
God, look how long this Wikipedia article about DB Cooper is.
I can see Buzz's eyes glazing already.
Oh my God. I love that
Somebody
you
summarize it for him.
They're reading Wikipedia on air. What's happening?
That's all we do.
No, like just like silently reading.
Oh yeah. That is weird. It was just like, you know what?
Just give me 10 minutes
Let's
of
stop
silence.
the show real quick and give me
the out loud reading's fine.
Yeah, the out loud.
Silently reading to yourself on live air is kind of weird.
Welcome to What We Work With, Stephanie. Buzz, you're embarrassing us in front of Stephanie.
Dude, he is so checked out already from the show.
I'm looking at him. He's like he's still reading. Like, I don't even know.
All right, okay.
He's just like interested in the case. Like, you know what?
It's very interesting.
I got to close the window.
We're not going to have him for the rest of the show.
The show, yeah.
Wow.
He's lost in that now.
Lost in the sauce. And with your news, I'm Nico.
All right, Stephanie Valle is here from ABC7. I wanted to, before we get to the Borderland Crimes podcast, there's a new episode. Let's do it in the next segment, okay?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
There's a
because
full-page
I want to ask you about this.
ad in the
God.
paper, and it's just really weird. Somebody took out a full-page ad.
They say
Can
a
you read
fish rots from the head, and a picture of the fish.
Paper by Concerned Citizens for a Safer. Okay.
Do you know about this?
And it's got pictures of the El Paso Children's Hospital Board of Directors, paid advertisement. They say a fish rots from the head. Do they? Has anybody ever said that? I've never heard that one.
No, I haven't heard that.
What's the beef with the Children's Hospital that somebody would take out a full-page ad?
I don't know. But
You don't know?
No.
So what I remember before the election, because there was a bond issue for Children's Hospital for all of UMC Children's Hospital.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the board of directors had also given themselves bonuses and maybe some extra. I don't know. I think the bonuses were pretty large, and so a lot of people were saying, "Well, why are we giving Children's Hospital money and UMC money through the bond if the executives are excessively compensated?"
I could be wrong on this, and I don't think I am. But
Hold on, I'll look it up on
UMC bond
Wikipedia.
was for UMC. Like they are related in that they are under the hospital district, but
Right.
But the bonds were all for the bond money was for UMC.
Not Children's Hospital?
No.
So these are unrelated?
Yeah, and as far as I know, because it was about like a burn center, cancer centers, expansion of urgent care, senior care, and a parking lot. and it was all together, but I don't recall anything being part of children's because they are separate.
Well, somebody's ticked
upset
off enough
yeah.
that they kind of. I mean, I wouldn't call it doxing, but they did put the pictures of the board of directors for the children's hospital. And I just thought maybe you knew what it was all about.
We also crowdsource our news too. Yeah. So if anybody else knows about this, please call in. Let us know.
Somebody has to know. Who
Results vary though when we toss it out like that.
There's a receipt somewhere.
Early voting is going on. There are several runoffs, including for El Paso mayor, and also 5 city council seats. The actual election day is December 14th, but early voting is going on right now. The former city manager wrote an op-ed in El Paso Matters, and she just torches Brian Kennedy. I don't know what the beef is between those two, but did you read that?
I did see part of that, yes.
Basically, I mean, she kind of implies that he's a grifter, saying that he enriched himself with his 20-year contract when he was running the County Coliseum.
Oh, yeah.
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 So it's, and she endorsed Renard Johnson. So,
the actual election hasn't happened yet.
She also said that District 1 is a shambles, and they're like weeds are higher than the fences, and there's trash, and the roads are messed up. And I live in District 1, and my part of District 1 is pretty nice. I hadn't noticed.
I know, yeah.
I mean, it just really seemed like there was an axe to grind there.
I think there certainly is, when you get into like political alliances and whatnot, I think that you'd find them on opposite sides of yes, maybe in the same party, because this is like a single party city, but different alliances.
I wonder what turnout is going to be like for the runoff election, because everybody's already there voting for president and other stuff.
I know.
When they have a runoff, I think it's going to be diminished.
Let's use your microphone for something good, Buzz.
Yeah.
Voting is so important. And runoff voting is very important. You voted once for mayor. Maybe you voted for your city council representative. But there were so many people running, there is a runoff. And now, yes, you have to vote again.
There were 8 candidates, so that really split up the vote. But Renard got, I think, 33%, and Brian got
like maybe 25 or something.
Yeah,
and that's
you
the
got to
thing.
get 50%. So if there's that many people in the thing, nobody can get 50.
And again, this is very important because these are the people who determine tax rates for the city and all sorts of other decisions. So check where, like on ElPasoCountyVotes.com. See if you're registered. You still have time to register, I believe, for the runoff election. You can vote if you didn't vote in the general election. You can vote in a runoff, and you don't have to vote in your district on during early voting or on actual election day. And also, you can plug in your address and find out who is on your ballot. So there's no reason to not know what's going on.
And looking into the story about El Paso Children's Hospital, I have a little bit more clarity on it. There was a El Paso Matters report almost a month ago that showed El Paso Children's Hospital's latest tax filings reported CEO Cindy Stout got an 8% raise and reported that the hospital had an increase in revenue, its 5th profitable year, since declaring bankruptcy. So the Children's Hospital declared bankruptcy in 2016, and it still owes over $34 million to UMC for rent and stuff like that.
Well, we're going to take a break, and we're going to come back. Stephanie Valle is here from ABC7 and her award-winning Borderland
Edward
Crimes
R.
podcast.
Murrow award-winning.
Very prestigious.
Do you say something at the end of your broadcast like, good night?
And good luck.
I should. Is that a total rip? Should I just do that?
So I think every case has been a homicide, and this one is not a homicide.
Correct.
But so it's kind of a departure from what you've done on Borderland Crimes so far.
It is, because I noticed that you would ask me that. I'm like, you know what? Buzz has a good point. And so then, I just looked into other cases.
Every time you come, he'd be like, so another murder.
I was just like, all of these are homicides, but this one is not a homicide.
This is not a murder.
Somebody ended up dead, but not a murder. All right, so we'll talk about that in a 2013 case and a fugitive from justice to this day.
Yes.
When we return with Stephanie Valle right after this.
This Thanksgiving, may your feast be delivered.
Offers valid 11/20. Ways in store only. Must be 18 or older. Deals excluded from coupons. See store or jcp.com for details.
Live from the KLAQ studios, the Buzz Adams Morning Show. Courtesy of Glasheen, Vyas, and Interman Personal Injury Lawyers at GVILaw.com.
There are like 20 people in this room.
And a dog.
And a dog.
This is a busy studio.
Kaplowitz is here. Let me take a couple of calls, and then we're going to talk about the... in fact, one of the calls is about Stephanie's award-winning podcast. So let me play that call real quick. Just a second.
Hey, good morning, KLAQ Morning Show. I just want to say that the Borderline Crimes podcast is really great. I enjoyed listening to it. And this last one that they put out with Stephanie. I just want to say shame on the parents, shame on the parents. And it goes to show that there's really bad people out there, and it's disappointing, but you'll have a good day. Bye-bye.
Now, is he talking about the most recent one?
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us about this 2013 case and a fugitive.
Yes.
Who's still on the lam, I guess.
Yes. So in July of 2013, there was a crash in the Upper Valley. Someone rear-ended another car. The car that got rear-ended, someone died. Her name was Janet Balderrama. And the person who caused the crash is named Desiree Scaff. Now, Scaff was arrested and charged with intoxication manslaughter. And she ended up taking a plea deal. I'm very, very quickly summarizing this. Okay. So she ended up taking a plea deal, but then she told her attorney she wanted to appeal the case, which usually doesn't happen. So I get into in the podcast how she was able to appeal.
She wanted to appeal after taking the plea.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And so
what did the plea amount to? Can you tell us what the sentence was?
The plea was going to be 7 years in prison. And she ended up appealing that. She was able to successfully appeal her conviction, got it overturned. She was out on bond awaiting a new trial and then disappeared.
And he mentioned shame on the parents. So
Yes.
he must have gotten further in the podcast than I did. I didn't get all the way through.
It's okay. It's okay. This is actually kind of a longer episode. So the issue is that Desiree Scaff is believed to be in Lebanon, and her father is from Lebanon. And there's a lot of information that I got from law enforcement that they believe she's there. They believe she's working as a reporter covering travel and leisure as of 2019. They believe she's covering travel and leisure in Lebanon.
She was 21.
She was 21 at the time, yes.
The incident occurred.
You would think she would lay low. You would think she would not be in the public eye if she was like on the run.
Yeah, well,
Does she
in
go
Lebanon,
by-
there's no extradition treaty, so I guess she could feel comfortable enough. But the reason her parents came up is because, there's no like concrete proof or evidence that law enforcement would go on the record with. But there is a sentiment that she is being helped by family. Her parents still live here. And I get into the podcast into how...
And then maybe they sent her away or helped provide the funds to get away.
Yeah, no paperwork showing that they sent her away, but they think that
I
that
am
is
sure
the
that
case.
you tried to reach out to the parents.
I did,
and
extensively.
What was the response?
Nah, I couldn't get them.
Oh, yeah, of course. Like they're probably hiding it, I'm sure.
We did play phone tag once. She called me back. The mom called me back. And then I called her back and just got voicemails full.
She just changed her mind. She's like, never mind.
Yeah, I think so. It was quite.
Well, tell us about. Have you tried to reach out in Lebanon at all? Is there a way to?
Oh my God, that's
There's no
I
extradition.
haven't. Yeah, there's
Well,
no
no, to
extradition.
talk, I mean.
To talk, no. But I did happen to look at my stats this morning on Borderline Crimes, and there are 3 listeners in Lebanon. So we'll see.
Interesting.
Interesting. I was like,
Tell us about Janet Balderrama. That was the 25-year-old woman
Yes.
who died as a result of that the crash.
So she was a mom of 2. She had a daughter who was about 7 turning 8. She had a 1.5-year-old little boy. And she was hanging out with friends. She enjoyed being with her friends. I talked to her mom as well as her best friend who was in the car with her. And the thing is, she had called her friend Iris to pick her up because she had had a little too much to drink, and she asked her for a ride. So Iris was not drinking. They were not together. They were not partying. So Iris drove from the Far East Side to the Upper Valley
to give her friend a ride.
To give her friend a ride home, and then she ended up getting killed in that crash.
That's terrible.
Now, the 21-year-old woman, Scaff,
Yeah.
had she lived in El Paso her whole life?
As far as I can tell, yes. In fact, her mother was the director of the El Paso Ballet for a time.
Oh.
Yeah. And then
So these people are known in the community.
Yes, and some people have messaged me and they said, "Oh, she ran a dance clothing boutique in Central El Paso, and she taught dance lessons." I've known several people. They're like, "Oh yeah, my daughter did ballet with her." So it's been a very eye-opening.
I think I heard Bill Hicks. So did you talk to the DA for this podcast?
Yes, I spoke to the DA.
Right.
I also spoke to Desiree Scaff's, one of her 5 attorneys for the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So,
one of the 5.
Yeah. She had 2 trial attorneys who got the plea deal, and then she had 3 appellate attorneys to work on the appeal. So, the district attorney, Bill Hicks, was telling me that the case is still open, the charges are still pending, and because they don't have an extradition treaty with Lebanon, essentially what they're doing is they have her name on a list. If she ever crosses a border, where there is extradition rights.
Can you be tried in absentia, or is there?
Well, they should already taken the plea deal. I mean, she already had the sentence of 7 years.
But she did have a conviction overturned. So at this point, it's
Now, does anybody claim that she wasn't intoxicated, or for sure did they prove that she was intoxicated?
So they appealed and said, well, we didn't want you to use the blood alcohol test because the levels can change depending on when you take the blood draw. So that was something that I didn't get into because it was just going to be very complex to explain that.
Okay.
But that was the understanding that I had, is that she did agree to the blood sample, and they took it and they found that she was intoxicated. But the argument is, well, when did you take that? Did you take, was it, if it was taken long after the crash, the levels are different than at the time of the crash.
Right. You could argue, I drank right before this or something, and I wasn't drunk. But
either way,
I read
she
the police
skipped,
report,
and we believe she's in Lebanon. Is there
Yeah.
proof or just rumors?
Well,
does she use her name when she writes her online content?
Yes. So I did a search, and there's a website called the961.com, and it's English language news in Lebanon. And I found an article that was written by Desiree Scaff, and it was reposted on a Greek website, and then it went back to the 961. So she was using Desi S on the 961 for a time. Like at one point, all of a sudden, all of her bylines changed.
Oh.
So she went from being Desiree Scaff to all of a sudden being Desi S. And then I can't find her after a certain point.
Wow.
And so her attorney even said, yeah, you wonder if she's even alive. And if anyone's watching the news lately, there's a lot of
because there's
activity
been some
going on.
bombing going on between Lebanon and Israel.
Yeah.
They just declared a ceasefire 15 hours ago.
Right. So, I mean, there's a lot going on. But I've heard a lot of
Does anybody suspect that the lawyers knew of her plan? I mean, that would definitely be actionable if the lawyers knew.
Well, they wouldn't admit to it if they did.
Well, they wouldn't admit to it if they did know, because that could mean they could lose their law license because that's aiding and abetting. But he insists that he did not know. And he said, in fact, he had this interesting line where he was saying, sometimes you look at a client and you can tell that they're thinking about it. And
running?
Yeah.
Jumping?
They're making a map right in front of
him.
him.
And so he was saying, I'm telling her, you better show up, even if you think that they're going to revoke your bond. And I get into why she thought they were going to revoke her bond in the podcast. But he was saying, you better show up, because it's
she just
not
had
worth
a
it.
glint in her
You'll
eye.
get caught eventually. And she said, no, I'll be here. And then she didn't show up.
One of the reasons they might revoke bond is if they suspect that you're going to run. You're going to flee.
Well, they also revoke bond if they suspect that you were violating conditions of bond. And the conditions of her bond is that she was not allowed to be in a drinking establishment or drinking. And she had a GPS tracker on a breathalyzer, and like a mobile breathalyzer, not in a car. And they tracked her in a bar a couple of times during her bond.
She had like an ankle monitor or something?
She had some type of GPS tracker. Yeah.
Where can you get the podcasts?
It's available on kvia.com. Also, wherever you listen to podcasts, on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, iHeartRadio, everywhere.
I can imagine the family and the friend who was in the car, really want to see this justice done.
They definitely do. And the mother, she was so despondent. I asked her if she thought she was ever going to have justice. And she just says, no, I think I'm going to die, and this case is still going to be open. And she also, I get into it more, but I mean, there's just so much more loss. In cases like this where, you lose one person, it's not just that one person. The families that they were holding together are also fractured.
Absolutely.
Janet had 2 children.
Grew up without a mom.
And grew up without a mom. These are from 2 different dads, and they each went with their own individual fathers, and they do not live here in El Paso. And so her grandmother had to fight to even see her own grandchildren.
So she lost the daughter and the grandchildren.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is your final, in total, what's your analysis of this? You believe she's in Lebanon based on the search you did? You think that's likely anyway?
I think it's likely. Like I said, there were some things that I didn't put into the podcast, but people were messaging me saying, I know this, I know that. The parents were pretty public about posting, about visiting her. I never saw it for myself, but it's something that it's kind of an open thing that people were saying. Yeah, they posted that they saw her, but then they would remove the posts. But that's not something I can...
The parents?
Yeah. I'm only telling you because this is not like reporting stuff, and it's not in my podcast, but the people are saying they saw that they would be in Lebanon. And law enforcement did tell me that they did see that they had traveled to Europe and Lebanon during, at certain times.
Well, you can find out more about the tragic death of Janet Balderrama and Desiree Scaff, who fled, we believe, the country
to Lebanon.
DB Coopered it.
How do you pick your subjects every week or every time you do a podcast?
This one did actually come to me because someone reached out and said, "Hey, I know the mother of Janet Balderrama, and she wants to talk." And so then I started with her. And then kind of just...
Is that usually how it happens? Do you have a personal connection, or are you informed from a third party?
I think it's been both. Sometimes people will come to me with an idea, but if it's nothing more than like, hey, you should look into the shooting that happened in 1984 outside of that bar, which I'm not even exaggerating, has happened.
I'm sure.
And I'm like, I don't even know where to begin with that.
Don't even know where to begin.
Yeah, so when I get something...
But a lot of the cases are, fairly well publicized at the time.
Yes. And this one was pretty highly publicized because it was so extraordinary. You're talking about a case that can get a maximum of 20 years in prison. No one gets 20 years in prison on intoxication manslaughter here in El Paso. And anyone who watches the news or looks on social media knows that people are getting probation or they're getting like 5 years for intox manslaughter. So for someone to flee the country
for this,
it's extraordinary.
Yeah, very strange.
Yeah.
Well, find out more about it, the latest Borderland Crimes podcast. And now I understand the caller who was, the parents ought to be ashamed and listen to the entire podcast.
So Stephanie actually went all the way to New York to pick up her Murrow Award in person, and on her social media she had all of her pictures. It looked like such a good time.
It was amazing.
Was it a gala type
It was
event?
a gala.
It was.
Yeah, I got a special dress and everything.
And then, she was in a real fancy dress, and then her name was on a big screen, and they said, and she went
I got to meet Eva Pilgrim from ABC News. She does reporting for GMA, and she was presenting the award. It was just a really great experience. We were sitting at the table with ProPublica, and ABC News was over there, CBS. It was great.
Did you do some networking?
I did. Did some glad handing. I met some people from NPR.
Hey.
Yeah, it was great. It was very
Did
fun.
you meet Ira Glass?
I wish. No, it was really fun. And also just want to say that it was really great to be able to represent El Paso on this level.
We're real proud of you.
Terry Gross? What they like?
No, Terry Gross.
Do you have like news people like that you fan over? Like you're a fangirl over news people as much as I would fan over a comedian?
Oh, I think so, for sure. Like I was... it's kind of dumb, but there was the producer for NPR there, and she's like, "Yeah, I work with Mary Louise Kelly," and I was like, "Where's Mary Louise Kelly? Oh my god!" But no, I mean, like if David Muir were to yes, but Chris Connolly was there, and
awesome.
he was a former MTV News VJ back in the day, and he works for ABC News, and it was cool. I've met him before, and I was walking up to get my award, and I hear, "Go, Stephanie," and I turn, and he's waving at me, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
That's awesome.
It's so cool.
Well, congratulations.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for representing El Paso,
Thank
Stephanie
you.
Valle
Appreciate
from
it.
ABC7. Let's take a break. We're going to find out about Small Business Saturday coming up with a guest from the SBA in just a few moments. More of the Buzz Adams Morning Show right after this.
Thanksgiving, the day where you stuff a turkey. So the turkey.
That is Lincoln Park, and lying from you, Lincoln Park just announced a bunch of concert tour dates. Joanna, do you recall what's the closest Lincoln Park's going to be to El Paso?
Phoenix, I
Yeah,
think.
all right,
Yeah.
Phoenix. And it's with
their new lead singer,
Emily Armstrong?
Yes.
Emily Armstrong.
Correct.
is
Good
gonna be
job,
out.
Buzz.
Well, I'm trying to juggle all kinds of names today. So
wait, I thought her name was Sarah.
No, the band is Dead
she
Sarah.
was in.
Was called Killing Sarah.
No,
Dead
Dead
Sarah.
Sarah.
Oh, okay.
From the SBA, the Small Business Administration, our guest is Dr. Antonio Magaregi.
Yes.
Hello, Doc. I'm going to call you Doc.
Doc is fine. That works.
And Saturday is Small Business Saturday, following Black Friday, where everybody goes to the big box stores. Tell us about Small Business Saturday, kind of what you do with the Small Business Administration.
Well, Buzz, thank you for having me on.
Yeah.
So Small Business Saturday, we all know that the big box stores get their piece and they promote crazy. And then they probably been promoting since the last 2 weeks about their specials, their sales. Small Business Saturday is to go ahead and promote local. The importance of buying local is we know that it drums up business for our local entrepreneurs. 2/3 of all business, all new entrepreneurs are hiring new employees. So when you bring in and buy local, not only are you supporting a family member or friend, but you're supporting somebody who sponsors a little league team, a soccer league, somebody who's actually trying to thrive and actually help out their own family to go ahead and support.
Now, do you count franchisees? Let's say is that a small business person if they franchise, but maybe they own a McDonald's?
Correct. A small business owner is anyone who has 500 employees and less. Of course, the franchisees, they get the golden arches or they get the Jack in the Box head on the front of their business. But not to go off on a franchisee tangent, what we're talking about is, your local aestheticians. We're discussing a t-shirt store. We're discussing the local restaurant right across the street that we got to support. A big part of it is if you're a local business owner, and you want to go ahead and promote your small business for Small Business Saturday, get online, promote your social media. Because what that's going to do is if you get somebody to buy a gift card for your local spot that they've never heard of before, you're drumming up traffic for people who are curious to want to go in and want to spend, and maybe they'll spend over the gift card amount that you're gifted.
So how's the Small Business Saturday going to work exactly?
Well, the way we do it is what we're doing now is promoting it. So anyone who wants to go ahead and promote their small businesses, any entrepreneur, your sole proprietorships, your LLCs, even your franchisees, go ahead and promote on your social media. Go ahead and send out emails if you have an email distribution to go ahead and put out there that the importance of Small Business Saturday is, hey, the big box stores got theirs. Let's go ahead and promote local and buying local.
All right.
Are you planning any event or like a centralized festival?
It's
or
SBA
fair?
Saturday around the country.
It's around the country. Okay.
Correct. Every U.S. province, all 50 states, it's every small business owner.
Yeah, if you're going to get a gift card, see if you can't get one from a local boutique or
plastic surgeon.
Local, yeah, sure, any of that.
And for my plastic surgeon friends out there, yes.
There you go.
Here, we got you this facelift for Christmas. You needed it.
It's a small business.
Well, hopefully they don't take it as an insult, but
right.
We all need a little tune-up now and again.
Here, honey, get some BBL for you.
I'm trying to convince my family because my nieces are grown. My daughter just turned 18. We're all grown-ups. What we do is we get each other presents. They're usually, in the $100 range. So I get you $100 present. And then it's become gift cards. So it's just like, here's your gift card, here's your gift. It's just transactional at this point. I'm like, let's just quit. Let's just call it square, and we don't have to worry so much about the. But if I were going to go shopping, I'd go shop at a local business.
And that's what we're here for, Buzz, is our you know it. Our small business owners represent 34 million entrepreneurs across the nation. So if you're buying a gift card, as Buzz was saying, if you're buying a certificate, you're going to go ahead and get someone who's never heard of your business before. You're going to get someone who's going to look at your gift card, look at the certificate and say, where the heck is this place? I've never heard of it. You're going to drum up someone to go in there. I'm like, okay, well, I have a $25, $50, $100 gift card. Let me go ahead and buy it to that amount and maybe spend a little bit more. Word of mouth is key.
How do you coordinate with the businesses? I mean, how do you interact, the SBA, that is, and the businesses?
We go out and we tell their businesses, and we encourage them, promote. Publicity, of course, there is such a thing as bad publicity, but we tell them publicity and going out and marketing themselves is key for them to go ahead and drum up their business.
I would imagine a lot of small businesses, especially locally owned small businesses, probably closed on Friday. You know, the big retail, Black Friday.
Not Red Parrot.
Okay, I don't know about that, but Saturday, everybody's going to be open.
Right.
Is Black Friday still the phenomenon that it was 10 years ago, 20 years ago?
I don't think as much, Buzz. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, I don't think so. I don't see people camping out anymore. They've been doing ads specifically about not camping out.
Right. At some point, you just like sleeping outside on Thanksgiving.
You just don't have a home. You just like.
I like how Buzz was asking the expert on small businesses, and Jenny was like, "Oh, I don't really go."
Well, I saw a lot of commercials lately. That's where I'm getting my info from.
I never got it. The idea of going out on Thanksgiving night at midnight and camping out overnight to get a plasma screen TV or whatever.
If you couldn't get the deals any other way, then right, it wouldn't make sense. I mean, people would probably still do it. But because you have Cyber Monday or you have other ways to shop and get sales, it doesn't make any sense.
I used to moon the line. I used to like to drive by and moon the line outside of Best Buy.
Moon the line?
I would moon the line.
Well, I guess that's one incentive to stand in line and camp out for Black Friday.
All right,
give them a good show.
You got a online presence or a website you'd like to direct people to?
Yes. If you're interested in shopping local and you want to gain more information, please go to sba.gov. And then in the search taskbar, go ahead and look up Small Business Saturday.
All right. Thank you, Dr. McGreggy.
Yes, close enough.
I like Thanksgiving. You guys like Thanksgiving? I like Thanksgiving. Not necessarily for like the turkey or like the cranberry or all the delectable stuff you get, but Kohl's opens at 4 a.m. the next morning. It's awesome, and I'm usually still up partying. I'll be like, I'm calling myself a cab. I'm going to Kohl's. Wake up with like a new shower curtain, a couple toasters. The savings is remarkable, folks. You should try it.
The Buzz Adams Morning Show.
Autogroup.com. More than 800 vehicles to choose from because Viva makes it happen.
Gobble, gobble.
Oh, the turkeys are coming. The Buzz Adams Morning Show is now back.
Coming back. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Hey, I saw a trailer. I did Glicked this weekend. Gladiator and Wicked. Not on the same day, but in the same weekend.
I haven't seen Gladiator yet, but Wicked. I got to see Wicked at the DGA with the interview with the cast afterwards.
Really?
Front row, dead center. Just a little brag. Just a little humble brag.
Just a little humble brag.
Ariana Grande was there?
Ariana Grande was there, and her big buff bodyguard staring the whole time.
What does she weigh?
She's
about
so
19
grande.
pounds?
She's frail and tiny. She's so tiny.
Do you like the cameos?
I did. I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it.
You like the singing?
Yeah, well, I mean, I did like the musical, so they upped it. So if you're somebody who liked the musical, they said they wanted to do things that they couldn't do on stage using the movie. So I thought it was spectacular. Like, I mean, for lack of a better word, like it was a spectacle. Like they did a great job of.
I didn't know it was only going to be half of the play. So it's
Oh,
like to
I
be
knew.
continued. I didn't even know they were.
Buzz is so
promoting it as-
disappointed.
Well, no,
they're milking it out.
Oh, they're going to milk it.
Yeah, they're you can tell they're trying to make a whole
I knew
universe out of
something
it.
was up when we were 2 hours in, and they only got around to arresting the goat professor. I was like,
yeah.
there's no way they're getting this all
You're
in.
giving spoilers.
Then they're-
That's in the play. That play's been around for 20 years.
Then they're going to do a Wizard of Oz sequel, too.
Are they really? No, they're not.
I don't
I'm just
know.
saying that. He's just saying
No,
that.
they've done Wizard
They've
of
done
Oz
so
sequels.
many.
What is that? The Wizards?
Return to Oz.
Return to Oz
that
with
was the
Fairuza Balk
Yes.
from
I
Waterboy.
used
That
to
was a TV movie.
love
I think that was a made-for-TV movie.
Oh, it was good with TikTok.
There's somebody. There's like an evil queen who can change heads or something.
They
it
said
gets
that one was like
weird.
horrifying for children. It was a little abnormally scary for a children's directed movie. But yeah, I used to love that one.
I was not knocked out by Gladiator 2. I feel like they were
No
just
spoilers on that one.
Yeah, don't say anything about it. Well,
Okay.
it's,
It was
other
like
than it's
they-
the same plot.
it's like they remade
You know what, though?
the first
You
Gladiator.
said the same thing about The Batman when it came out with Robert Pattinson. You were like, ugh, what a bad movie. Don't like it.
Ooh.
And now all you say is how much you love it and that world and that grittiness. So you don't think your opinion could change maybe of Gladiator?
Ooh. I saw the Penguin finale the same way. Just throwing that out there with the cast and the whole thing that had been.
Wait, that one was not a humble brag. That was just a
It was very cool. Well,
How
for
do you get
Buzz,
invited
for
to this
you-
stuff?
Right now, so I'm SAG, and they randomly select people to be part of the nominating committee for SAG Awards, and I got randomly selected for the SAG nominating committee. So I just get invited to all these cool screenings and premieres and stuff. It's been nice. I met the Fallout cast. I met Javier Bardem for the Menendez brother one, Monsters. Very fun.
Colin Farrell in the penguin makeup, or
I saw Colin Farrell. No, he came out regular. Him and the whole cast. It was him,
that's
the sidekick, the
freaking
woman.
amazing what he does in that.
Hey, come see Gladiator again with my family today, and maybe you'll change your opinion.
Come see it again. I know you watched it already.
Sports go sports. Athletics are number one. Participants are heroes. Go team, yeah.
The Buzz Adams Morning Show presents Go Sports Go. Brought to you by the Viva Auto Group. Viva makes it happen.
All right, Steve Kaplowitz joins us from our partner station 600 ESPN to
Good
talk
morning.
about sports.
Woo! Dallas Cowboys.
All right.
Tomorrow they play the New York Chiquitos. Woo! He's enjoying that turkey while we watch them play the little Chiquitos. All right. Woo! Come on, Buzz. Give me a woo.
All right.
Someone needs to get their
Right
drunk
now, give
uncle.
me a woo. Nico,
No.
come on.
No.
One day before Thanksgiving. Come
Okay.
on.
All right.
Come on.
Woo!
Next day. Woo! All right, yeah. And Miners. Come on, Miners. Give us that third win. Give me that third win. Come on. You get mineros. Vámonos. Let's go. You can do it. You can do it all the way. Woo! Yeah.
Dallas Cowboys.
I can tell that a lot of people have given up on the Cowboys season, even though it was a phenomenal game on Sunday and one of the most exciting finishes.
Yeah, they're not
this year
giving
for
up.
Sure. Yeah, but they don't write the liners for us. And they don't bother. So I don't know what time the game comes on, but it's going to be on KLAQ tomorrow. So Cappy joins us from ESPN 600.
Would you
know
like
those
to know what
details?
time the game comes on?
Yeah. And what time does our broadcast start?
I think the broadcast starts at
like
1
an hour before kickoff.
I think the broadcast starts at 1:30 and the game kicks off at 2:30. That's what I see. I mean, they're playing the Chicago-Detroit game starts at 10:30. So then the Dallas-Giants game starts at 2:30. And then the Miami-Green Bay game starts at 6:20.
God, they only played 3 days ago, right?
Yeah. Crazy, huh?
That kind of turnaround. I guess the Giants
Well-
played on Sunday as well. Did they?
The Giants, yes. They got creamed on Sunday. Remember that was when Tampa Bay went in and Baker Mayfield just walloped the Giants? By the way, speaking of Daniel Jones and the Giants, he signed today with Minnesota to be the backup quarterback to Sam Darnold. So now the Vikings...
That developed quickly, didn't it?
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. So, Minnesota needs an insurance policy in case something happens to Sam Darnold. Now they've got Daniel Jones just in case, and that deal went down this morning.
What a freaking game Aaron Jones had this weekend.
So it was an interesting game for Aaron because he fumbled on the 1 yard line in the first quarter, and that was right after like a 41-yard run. So you're thinking, what are they going to do with Aaron?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they went back to him, and he had over 100 yards and got his touchdown late in the game. So, I was happy.
Really sure-handed, though.
This year he's had 5 fumbles. It's weird. Like, Aaron Jones never fumbles more than once or twice in the season, and he has 5 so far.
How would you compare his season this year to his previous seasons? Because this is his first year with the new team, right?
Yeah. The thing I like about this team with Minnesota is they're using him about 80% of the time. In Green Bay, it seemed like he was always in like a 50-50 timeshare where there was always other running backs, whether it was Jamal Williams or, some of the others that have kind of rotated with him throughout his career. But now in Minnesota, he's their guy. As long as he's healthy, they've got Cam Akers as their backup. For the most part, they want to run with Aaron Jones the whole season. And this is the first time in his career he's had a team that's given him the ball that much. So I give Minnesota a lot of credit for that. They're riding out Aaron, and so far, he's producing. So hopefully that'll happen again this weekend. But we do have, the Vegas Kansas City game on Friday, and then
on what is it? Amazon?
Is that the Prime game on Friday?
Yeah.
All right. By the way, have you noticed that Prime never has any buffering issues with their live football games? That's why I'm wondering how Netflix is going to handle this thing, man. I really am.
Well, they also don't have the sheer number of subscribers that Netflix
You think
does.
more people tuned in for that ridiculous fight than tune in for an NFL game?
Oh, yeah. Without a doubt.
Yeah,
there were 60 million people tuning in for that ridiculous fight. I don't think they're going to have 60 million watching a random Netflix game.
Why do your eyes keep flickering to my shirt?
Because I'm trying to think. You were not with us in 2015 for the 30th anniversary Balloon Fest, which means you got that from someone like Buzz.
I did not. Do you think he ever fit into this?
Shut up.
So I'm trying to figure out how the 2015 Balloon Fest quarter zip ended up with you.
So Kevin gives me random KLAQ merch.
Yeah. In lieu of payment.
Well, if anybody should get that deal, it should be Alberto. But that's just my opinion.
Every once in a while.
Got a call about tomorrow's and this weekend's games and festivities.
Guys, I just want to give a little tip for everybody tomorrow if they want to watch the football games. I know everybody hates that you have to have like 50 apps to watch the games.
Mm-hmm.
One week a team will play on one app, and then next week they'll play on another app. But one trick I learned is if your team's playing on Fox and you don't have access to Fox, you can download the Fox app, and you'll get an hour for free. Now, when that hour ends, all you have to do is delete the app from your phone or your TV and re-download it, and it will give you another hour free.
Wow.
Totally legal, so nothing wrong.
Yeah, but what if you're like really into the game, like by hour 3, and you're like, I gotta read.
That is the greatest.
Delete the app and re-download the app.
That's the best.
Hey, family, hold on while I re-download this app.
That was the best Fox app hack I've heard in a while. I mean, I'm just thinking the poor guy. I was waiting for him to say Stream East, but no, he's going with downloading the Fox app, deleting it, loading it, deleting it, loading it, deleting it. Yeah.
Hey, I have the weirdest... Because
by the way, you can watch the game on Fox. Like, that's the other thing that makes me kind of wonder about this whole thing, because these football games are free if you have an over-the-air antenna that's hooked up to your TV that then pulls in the HD channels that they're sending over for
I don't think
free.
people remember that technology exists anymore.
I don't think
they
so
forgot
either.
completely about.
I feel like that's
I
true.
pay a cable bill every month, so I'm really stuck
You
in
still
the
got
past.
cable, but oh my gosh.
Hey, I have the weirdest story. I'm kind of want some clarification.
By the way, I'm going home right now to meet the cable guy at 10 o'clock.
Oh, nice.
I am doing, listen to this. I'm getting rid of my cable boxes. I'm going strictly wireless cable. But this package I'm buying comes with Disney Plus, ESPN Plus, Paramount, and Max. And Hulu. So
You're doing this
essentially
through Spectrum, AT&T?
Yeah, through Spectrum. So what I'm doing is I'm deleting, I'm canceling all those apps that I normally subscribe to because they're all bundled in with this plan. So now you get them all together, and just so it should make things a lot easier. So we'll see how this goes. That's the plan this morning. Just in time for Thanksgiving.
What other sports do you want to?
Well, that's what I want to ask about. I have this weird story. It's a college football story. I guess during halftime for Saturday's BYU versus Arizona State game, BYU team captain Tyler Batty gave a passionate speech in the locker room.
Do we have this? Do we have this recorded?
No, it's full of curse words.
Well, that's usually if it's passionate, it usually contains F-bombs.
But this is Brigham Young.
Oh my
University.
God! So is he dropping like F-bombs and stuff?
Everything.
Wait, now let me ask you this.
Hold on. So
just because he plays, he may not be.
There is a video of this.
Yes.
Okay. And that language is deemed inappropriate according to the BYU honor code.
See,
but more people are concerned about how did that video even get released or published? Why was somebody in the locker room? Why was somebody videotaping?
They're always doing
the speech.
Always doing that.
Why was somebody?
That is a common thing now. Teams are always having staffers or people that have phones and start to they do this for montages that they'll use during their.
Well, it's one thing for somebody on the inside to record it, but then to release it.
Yeah, that's true.
Without doctoring it up a little bit.
That's a good point.
It's like you know what it's like? It's like the tennis analyst who got fired for criticizing one of the tennis players' looks, and it's like who in their studio hates John Wertheim so much?
That's a good point. Well, let me say this.
So
somebody's stabbing you in the back.
The student might get in trouble from BYU, and the Big 12 is now doing an investigation into the whole thing. Again,
when you say the student that's getting trouble, you mean the play that cursed?
That cursed, but that's a BYU thing. I don't know what's going to happen there. But the fact that the Big 12 feels like they need to investigate.
Oh, my God.
It sounds silly, right?
It does sound ridiculous. Listen, this has been going on for 40 plus years. Let me explain real quick. The best fight that's ever happened at a UTEP basketball game happened in 1985. It was a triple overtime game here against BYU. And in that game, there was a huge fight involving Luster Goodwin, Kent Lockhart, and Scott Sinek of BYU. And when Scott Sinek of BYU said a choice word to Luster Goodwin that would have been deemed inappropriate by BYU student code, the punches went flying. Everybody went crazy. I was there.
Were you there?
Yes, I was there. It was unbelievable. But the point is, that word that was uttered was not part of the BYU code of conduct. So
Can I get the first letter?
N.
Oh, it's the N-word.
It was the N-word.
Yeah. I think BYU would have been okay with that in 1985.
Anyway,
I don't remember what the year was, but it was worryingly late when they no longer prohibited interracial dating at BYU.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. I mean, that's true.
It's one of these religious schools. There are other schools that had that thing, going on in this. Definitely the 70s and 80s. It was still.
Yeah, and by the way, and BYU back in the 70s and 80s, their basketball teams were all white. So you never saw any type of black basketball
and
player.
They never won anything.
No.
BYU was good.
They were good.
BYU was really, really good.
And the UTEP crowd hated BYU more than any other team.
It is still what I consider the most hated rivalry ever. Now, again, it's been a zillion years, so it's kind of passed by. But when Buzz first got here, BYU was still in the conference with UTEP. They were all in the WAC together, and you were doing games, and you probably remember how much El Pasoans hated BYU.
Viscerally.
Yes.
Well, didn't BYU make some slur or Mexican slurs about us? Or
No. They here's what BYU would do during games. They always cried. They never committed a foul, and they always
to the referees.
cried. Yes.
Cheap shot. I mean, just
they were dirty too. They were
dirty.
They were.
Danny Ainge, I think, gouged somebody's eye with his thumb one time.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Danny Ainge was super dirty, and there were others that did that as well. And fans just hated them. I mean, I loved growing up hating BYU. It was just part of the. It was part of the whole UTEP experience in those days. So it was a lot of fun.
Speaking on 105.3. Jerry Jones was asked whether it was crazy to think Mike McCarthy could receive a contract extension after the season. And Jerry Jones said, I don't think that's crazy at all. That's not crazy. Mike McCarthy is an outstanding coach.
Well, he's committed to Mike McCarthy.
His contract ends this year. I would be shocked if Mike McCarthy.
He goes on to say he's got great ideas. Bottom line is no place in my body language or anything else you have seen an indication about what we're going to do relative to this stuff at the end of the year. And we shouldn't even give a hint of that.
Of course not.
So what's your prediction? Cowboys get their first home win of the season tomorrow against the Giants?
Yes, I do.
The Giants are 2-9.
Yeah, they suck. I mean, they're really, really bad. But, you know, I mean, they're going with Tommy DeVito. So anything's possible, right? Maybe Tommy Cutlets comes back and has this great outing, and next thing you know,
funny how like a clown, like
a clown. Brandon Cooks is off, and DeMarcus Lawrence are off of the injured reserve.
That's big for the Cowboys. But remember, they're still going with Cooper Rush as their quarterback. So look, I think it's going to be a close game.
Lance? I know the fans do. I think the fans, but Cooper had a good game.
He played well last week. Look, the truth is this. I still believe, as crazy as this sounds, I think Cooper Rush gives them their best chance to win. I really do. Like, if they were trying to tank the season, then yeah, give Trey Lance the opportunity just to see what he's got for the last 5-6 games. But, I think Cooper Rush can win. I do, against bad teams. And the Giants are terrible. So there's no reason. Look, if you just went into Washington and beat the Commanders, how could you lose at home to the Giants? How could that even happen?
You have any idea what spread is?
I think it's isn't it 7.5? What was the line? Well, actually, it might have been 2.5. Let me see what the current spread is. I'll tell you right now.
Jam,
butter. The line is. Hang on. I got it. You should have asked me that about 5 minutes ago. The line is 3.5. Dallas minus 3.5. So. Anyway, we'll see what happens. And in case you're wondering about the other lines, Detroit's a 10-point favorite over the Bears. That starts at 10:30 tomorrow morning.
Detroit's having a season.
Oh, they're 10-1, Buzz. They're the best team in football right now.
Yeah.
The best team in football. And then the Packers are 3.5-point favorites over Tua and the Dolphins. That's the game that's going to be on NBC and Peacock tomorrow night at 6:20. So CBS for the early game, Fox for the Giants-Cowboys game, NBC for the late game, and then Friday 1 o'clock Prime Video for the Raiders and the Chiefs. By the way, UTEP basketball, congratulations to the Miners. The women won yesterday on the road, and the men won in Henderson, Nevada. Buzz. They ended up beating up on.
What's in Henderson?
There's an arena. They have a basketball arena. It's like right outside Vegas.
Yeah, but who's the school?
There is no school. They built an arena and they're playing. So here's the way this works. Okay,
yeah, but who did they beat?
They beat the Beach.
I don't know what that is.
Long Beach State.
Oh,
they call them. They refer to themselves as the Beach.
The Beaches.
The Beach. So they beat
what
the
a bunch
I have an
of
ex-girlfriend
beaches.
that I used to refer to as the Beach.
I figured 70-44 was the final score in this one. So the Miners, by the way, 44 points allowed, the fewest by a UTEP opponent since they beat Southern Miss back in 2018. So big performance, 18 points for David Terrell Jr. Miners had a 34-9 run that helped them win. They'll play tonight. Final game of this series, and they're going to be playing UNC Greensboro. That game will start at 5:30. Our coverage starts at 5 o'clock. So just an hour of sports talk, and then it's John and Steve on the call for this final game, which will be heard on 600 ESPN El Paso. All 3 football games tomorrow on 600 ESPN El Paso as well. And something I should know.
The Cowboy game?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, because we have the Cowboy game.
I know. We have it on Westwood One, the national network. See, on Thanksgiving, Buzz, the national network.
Yeah, but you don't have Brad and the Babe.
That's true, we don't. We don't have Brad and the Babe. I wish we did, but we don't. So,
did you see the neckline call that came in? It's a question about coaches for the Cowboys and who would be a good replacement, maybe.
For McCarthy?
Hey, how y'all doing out there? Hey, listen, Mac Brown for Cowboys. How about that, Steve? Mac Brown, next coach of the Dallas Cowboys.
Hey, man, I like Mac Brown. And Mac Brown is retiring at North Carolina after all these years. But I think Mac Brown truly wants to get
retire.
out of coaching. Now, some people will say that the Cowboys is a retirement job because Jerry Jones is kind of the man in charge, not you. But still, I really think that Mac is done. Mac spent a lot of years in the game, and North Carolina playing North Carolina State this weekend. But no, I don't think Mac will be a possibility. I am interested to see where the Cowboys go there for their head coach once they fire Mike McCarthy. Although, how Jerry Jones would it be if they gave him like a 2-year extension after the season? Would that be the most Jerry Jones things to do ever?
Totally.
In for a penny, in for a pound,
Mm-hmm. I'm with you. All right. Listen, if you're going to be watching games this weekend, especially tomorrow for Thanksgiving, and you want to make some money while watching it, Underdog is the place to be. Now, a lot of reasons why. Their pick'em game, you could win up to 1,000 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on a player's stats, like touchdowns. They've got all your favorite leagues, teams, and stars to choose from, including college basketball and the NBA. Underdog even puts the power to cash out in your hands with the Win Now button to cash out whenever you want. Coming up tomorrow, Cowboys, Giants, CeeDee Lamb, 67.5 receiving yards. I think I would go higher than that. He's their number one target. And Cooper Rush, here's what's really interesting. If you go higher than 1.5 passing touchdowns, you get almost 1.5 times for that. So that's the play right there. Over 1.5 passing touchdowns.
For how much?
For Cooper Rush, the quarterback of the Cowboys. He's got to throw a couple touchdowns. All righty. So this season, Underdog will be running a special promo or bonus almost every single day. Like Profit Boosts, pump up your winnings in just a tap when you apply the boost to eligible entries. Discounts. You'll get adjusted projections on certain player stats to give you a better shot at a big W. Free picks. They're basically a sure thing. A player just has to get higher than half a yard for that pick to win. Plus, all new users get a free pick. Download the app, sign up with promo code KLAQ, and deposit now to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. That's promo code KLAQ. Must be 18 plus and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
All right, thank you, Cappy.
Happy Thanksgiving, Buzz.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Woo!
TV, is that entertainment?
This week on the Hallmark Channel, it's Friendsgiving with Becky. A woman invites her besties to a charming log cabin for a Friendsgiving get-together, but at the last minute decides to invite her kind of friend, Becky, so she won't get her feelings hurt. A snowstorm hits, and they are trapped inside. Becky begins complaining about her toxic relationship and breakup, claiming she was love-bombed by a narcissist. Then everyone's Ozempic is wearing off, and they're running out of leftovers. The party's really over when Becky asks if any of them have a great guy they could set her up with. Yeah, it's met with deadly silence. Will they make it out of the cabin untraumatized? And is Becky the real problem in her relationships? Find out this weekend, spending Friendsgiving with Becky on the Hallmark Channel.
The Buzz. See Speaking Rugby One, El Paso's biggest Dallas Cowboys tailgate party. Ages 21 and over.
Live from the KLAQ studios, the Buzz Adams Morning Show. Courtesy of Glasheen, Vyas, and Inderman Personal Injury Lawyers at GVILaw.com.
We're going to put the finishing touches on our Thanksgiving Eve show. What's going on tomorrow when we're normally on? Joanna, any idea?
That's a good question. I don't know.
You're not working, are you?
I'm not. First Thanksgiving in about, I want to say 10 years that I don't work.
Wow. Are you jazzed about that?
I am so jazzed.
So you can go out tonight, right?
I can go out tonight. I can sleep in. I'm so excited.
Visit from the Great Nostradamus coming up in just a few minutes. Hey, here's an interesting story from Billy Corgan of the Smashing Pumpkins.
Love him.
About 10 years ago, he thought there was a very, very real chance that he was half brothers with famous comedian Bill Burr.
Oh, wow.
And as I pictured both of those guys, well, they're both bald.
They're both bald.
Now, so I guess they're going to kind of look alike. But Billy Corgan of Smashing Pumpkins was on Howie Mandel's podcast. I guess everybody's got a freaking podcast. Howie Mandel's.
Yeah, for sure. We have one.
What does he do? Blow up surgical gloves on his podcast? Do you remember that thing he used to do?
Yeah.
Who?
Howie Mandel.
Oh, yeah.
Billy Corgan thought, yeah, this comic could be my half brother.
About 10 years ago, my stepmother said to me, "Do you know who Bill Burr is?" Now, at that point, I'd never heard of Bill Burr. I didn't know who he was. I didn't know he was a comedian or he could have been the guy down the street. I think I even somehow called up a picture on a phone, and I kind of noticed right away, like, gee, he really looks like my father. I said to my mother, like, well, why are you asking me this? She goes, I think Bill Burr might be one of the children that your father sired in his days on being a traveling musician. This is a true story. I'm not making up. There's no joke in this. This is a true story.
It might be one of the children your father sired.
I like when people use the term sired.
Like, what is he, a horse?
Billy Corgan says when he turned 18, his dad, who I guess got around, he had a total of, his stepmom thinks that he had a total of 12 illegitimate children.
Oh, getting around.
I'm not.
So I didn't know Nick Cannon was Billy Corgan's father. But.
Hey, so I'm not unfamiliar with this. My grandfather, my dad's dad, the reason I don't know anything about Armenian side, because he started at least 6 to 7 different families across the United States. There's over 20.
He was kind of rakish, I guess.
Yeah, my dad has about 15 to 20 half brothers across the United States.
Oh my God. They're going to come out of the woodworks for you.
That's a lot of Ajimians.
Yeah, there's a lot of... There's
was he like a door-to-door refrigerator salesman or something?
No, he was a deadbeat. I don't know. But there's 2 other Ajimians here in town, 2 other half-brothers that my dad didn't even know about.
There's like a public building at the something Ajimian... Do you know about this?
That a reproductive center. Yeah, that's my grandpa. He founded it.
Your grandpa?
Founded the Male Reproductive Center for America.
Because he got so many women. No, but do you know the building I'm talking about? I was driving.
No, I have no idea.
You don't know that there's a building. I can't remember. God,
there's like
an annex?
Yeah, it's a community events
Is
space.
it the one by the mall?
I think so.
There's something that's on Viscount.
It's the Michelle Ajimian. I think it's in honor of Michelle Ajimian.
Oh, I've seen
and is she a member of the same extended family?
Yes.
Do you know her?
I didn't really know of her before I started stand-up, and then she started coming to all my shows, and her.
Oh, yeah?
So I have more interaction with my dad's half-brother and Michelle. She's passed away, unfortunately, already. That's why it's...
After watching your set.
Boy,
I love you,
Nico died on stage, and then...
My legacy. Oh, no.
You are never invited back again.
Joining us in the studio once again to amaze and astound us with his powers of precognition. Listen and thrill as he amazes us all with his uncanny abilities to predict the contents of sealed envelopes. Please join me in welcoming the great Nostradamus.
Welcome, Nostradamus.
All right. Welcome back.
The wise and mystical sage from the East. Thank you for being here.
I see some of you are already mentally on vacation.
Yeah,
Yes, some of you, yeah.
All right, master of prognostication. Do you have any words of wisdom for us today?
Today, I have an opinion that I would like to share.
Oh, okay.
I am here to tell you that I think it is wrong to turn normal names like Karen into a bad word.
You think it's wrong to turn Karen names like Karen?
Anyone's name into a bad word. It's a dick move. Now, please to be handing me the envelopes for today.
All right. These envelopes have been seen by nobody else and have been stored in a hermetically sealed mayonnaise jar that has been kept right next to Mike Tyson's jockstrap in the arena there in the locker room. So nobody is going near it. Here is envelope number 1.
Envelope number 1, I've never seen what is inside. I will predict the contents simply by holding the envelope to my forehead. I must concentrate.
Okay.
The longer you play with it, the harder it gets.
The longer you play with it, the harder it gets.
Yes, the longer you play with it, the harder it gets. Describe a Rubik's Cube.
Yeah, that's a good one.
All right.
Envelope number 2, please.
Envelope number 2. Here you go.
Once again, hold the envelope to my turban-clad forehead. Bill Cosby's Romantic Life and Disney World for pass holders.
Can you do that one again?
Bill Cosby's Romantic Life and Disney World for pass holders.
Bill Cosby's Romantic Life and Disney World for pass holders.
Yes.
Okay.
Name 2 things that have a lot of blackout dates. Is that true about Disney pass holders?
I guess I wouldn't know.
Envelope, Nico, number 3.
All right, here you go. Envelope number 3.
Go the extra mile.
Go the extra mile.
Yes, Joanna, very good. Go the extra mile.
Thank you.
What is something you should do in every job unless you are an Uber driver? You'll get no stars.
No stars. And last but not least,
All right.
envelope number 4. Finally.
Fourth and final.
Woo!
All right.
May the tag on all your shirts be extra itchy.
You bad.
Envelope number 4. A baseball player who just got called up to the big leagues and Matt Gates.
A baseball player who just got called up to the big leagues and Matt Gates.
Correct. A baseball player who just got called up to the big leagues and Matt Gates. Name 2 guys who spent some time in the minors.
Nice. Thank you. Thank you very much, Nostra.
Nostra, thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.
That's it for the Buzz Adams Morning Show.
Goodbye, old friend. Instead of goodbye, how about so long?